torture myself with that.
Alright. So I am punching it on all fucking cylinders that we have here.
Well, unfortunately, I only operate in a 3-cylinder capacity, but it has a 40 eco boost, so it's still putting out, like, 140.
Yeah, I heard your audio briefly and it sounded alright, so we just gotta hope it's working. Because I don't have a laptop.
The torque isn't that great and it really drags in second gear, but...
Don't have the laptop to test with anymore. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Bingo, bango, bongo. We have left the Congo. Alright.
It's a terrible thing to...
Alright, and with that, I think we are... Have I punched literally everything? I need to bring up Twitch here on my phone. I hear you through someone else.
That was me on accident. I was just listening.
Alright, but we good. We Gucci. We live. I have no idea how many people are viewing. Hopefully we're at the minimum 3 to be relevant or whatever. But we just gotta hit the go-go.
Find that link and I'm gonna share it.
Yep. I also I made a Facebook status with all of you, so you should have got a tag.
I didn't notice. Let me just share that actually.
I don't believe in Facebook. People tell me it's real, and I accept that because for some reason Mark Zuckerberg's still relevant.
Yeah, well, people tell me Israel, and I say occupied Palestine.
It's in the name. Real.
Did we just get political here? I'm devout.
All right, let me tell you my opinion on universal basic income, because I think that's how we want to start this out.
Yang gang. Hold on. I need a drink before we yang gang. It's time for the diesel shot.
So do I. Hold up.
I will say the one Democratic nominee T-shirt I've seen so far this election cycle has been Yang.
Yang gang.
On the other hand, it was at a Weird Al concert, so I'm not exactly sure the demographic.
That pleases me on so many levels that I'm not going to get into on stream.
It was also on like a middle-aged Asian lady, which is not what I expected.
I mean, maybe she wants American prosperity, and she has a good taste in music.
I mean, good taste in music, no denying that.
All right, is it time for the diesel shot?
No.
God, you got a little fucking cup and everything. Jesus Christ.
Alright. Let's dive right in. Balls first.
I'm no expert in anything, but generally that's a bad angle to approach at.
Fuck. We Gucci. Venher, you rest upon your crystal throne. As above you see the falling spores from the greening moon, casting its filth across the world as the heart seed breathes down from the atmosphere.
Fuck.
At the same time, your lawyer malignant emerges from the wall and says, "A troubling event, sire."
Oh, damn it, have I been subpoenaed again?
No. Rather than legal action, it appears we are subject to an explosion ripples through the lower levels of the pyramid, and several lights blink in and out for a second as you see pneumatic just pumps of maligna start to pour through the walls as like backup energy sources activate. It seems we are instead subject to a boarding action, sire.
What? How? Who? When? Where? Why?
It's not clear. None of the exterior senses were triggered. I believe they are coming from within. It is most troubling. He looks at Kraz for a second and sees a certain glint in his crystal arm and says, "Might I ask where Sir acquired such a unique item?"
What? My arm? Well, I was birthed with it, of course.
Shut the fuck up and
can't
tell
help but
my lawyer
notice
the truth.
You didn't have it when you signed your contract. I'm going to require some disclosure.
I found crystals, and they fused with my arm.
Well, So can you all roll a perception for me?
Maybe.
Yeah, let me get my stats up, because that's a generally good thing to do. I'm not a bard.
I'm a barbarian.
Well,
All right.
I'm kind of closer to a paladin.
Yeah.
than
So Pat is too absorbed in this conversation to see what's going. Oh, don't want that audio to start playing. Teehee. So basically, Pat doesn't see this, but Max, like a tiny green speck in the corner of his eye through like the clear pyramid top catches your eye. It's a green globule, growing closer and closer, larger and larger in the distance. Eventually, Kraz sees it as well. And you realize that it looks like it's on something of a it's something of an intersecting trajectory with your current position.
Well, first, evasive maneuvers. Second, activate the anti-aircraft batteries, which I presumably have.
All right, yeah. So you all feel like a serious lurching as you like telepathically inform the ship, the pyramid, get the fuck out of the way and start shooting. As red hot rays shoot up around the pyramid towards this incoming green globule. You can score 6 direct hits, and every time you do, it rips through the center of it, and like green spores and ephemera and like bloody bits fly out from it. But there's still a bit of it left, and by the time it reaches you, it's kind of more like a green smattering, like a schmear, if you will. Like you've just been hit with a like a bit of guac, and you hear
my pyramid is not a bagel.
You hear a whistling approach, and then all of a sudden, splat. And the lawyer turns back and leans back in. He says, "My lord, it seems the lower levels have become infested. If I may jettison the lower decks."
Yes.
It shall be so. Your lawyer disappears, and you guys hear what sounds like some fighting to the south, and something. The automated turret emerges from the floor, and you guys see some zaps, some zips, and some zoops. Now, Max, as a casual reminder, your crystal throne is kind of your conduit to divinity, and while you can make others, that requires time and energy you don't presently have.
And will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fucking crystal throne can't get broken. I need this throne to maintain my immortal godhood. A very unique concept. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
I sure hope my empire doesn't crumble while I rot on my throne. Yeah. Okay.
Certainly, nobody's trademarked this concept.
And they're certainly not notoriously litigious. Okay.
Of course not.
Luckily, I have a lawyer demon, so any problem.
Thank God.
Yes, there was an episode of Dragon Tales.
Yeah. Thank God you have the crystal toilet seat.
I never watched Drivel.
Drivel? Dragon Tales is one of the finest examples of entertainment, educational, children's programming ever to exist.
Good lies, Teletubbies. There you go.
Sounds like an elaborate excuse to be a scaly, but IDK.
Honestly, all the dragons in that show are butt ugly, but whatever. Minions, secure the entrance. We must protect the throne.
Alright. Well, my character's going to, she's going to... 1, 2, 3.
Are we limited by movement right now?
You are not presently considered to be in combat, so you can...
Okay, sure. Alright, well, she's gonna stand down here then.
Alright. You see a Void Torn advance and get torn absolutely asunder by this turret.
So wait, can you explain a little bit better? Are the Void Torn coming in from the green glob from the moon, or were they already here?
So these are the weird extra-dimensional invaders that have, plighted this world for a long time, since like some of the gods died. But they are not associated with the Woad or with the weird, or with the Heartseed.
That's what I thought. I was just trying to make sure.
If only there was some sort of weird extra-dimensional crystal thing they might have used as a beacon to teleport here.
Oh,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yup, maybe.
I have no idea what you're talking. Well, it doesn't matter because the things on the other side didn't have that, and they got here. Wonderful pyramid over there, letting
I see
people
we chop
in.
off this guy's arm.
Nope.
Support the turret. That is my command.
Alright, so would you guys like to wade into this fight? As a casual reminder,
Where's
there
the
are
turret?
doors here and here which can be closed. The turret is here.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we should probably go and
Help things, yeah, baby.
help. Yeah. Lee, is there any chance you could really quickly resend the file that has the Graver information on it? I seem to have misplaced it.
Bro, if only my laptop wasn't dead right now, that would be a lot easier quest to accommodate.
Alright, I'll find it. Never mind. Don't worry. Just give me a second. I should have made sure I had it before we started.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna let me in?
Don't let them in. Don't let them see.
I think you let me in on my phone.
It's okay. I'm gonna find it. Don't you worry.
Alright, so, yeah, at this point in time, if you guys like to poke your heads out of the hallway, I can hit you with...
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and peek my head out. And my whole body, I guess.
Jesus, how did I get this? Whatever. Alright. So you see not only these lads coming from the east through these rents in reality itself. They seem to be pouring out of some sort of light, but you can barely even gaze upon it. It seems a color undescribable, unnatural, not native to this world or even plane. Or time.
So a color out of space.
A color out of space and a color out of time. And you also see some of your druid friends from earlier. And what's that green mass following them? Flooding up through the hallways, running over and just breaking apart all the various things on the wall and spreading into every groove and crevice, threatening to overtake you. Yeah, it's not good. It's initiative time.
Yeah.
Initiative time.
I believe there's a certain phrase amongst the deity community we use to describe this sort of situation, and that's fucked.
Fucked vibes, bro. You don't have to be Marianne Williamson to know these are some fucked vibes.
I guess we're rolling initiative then.
Oh, did I not convey this? My apologies. I found the Graver link, by the way, if you still need that.
Oh, yes, please send.
Alright,
Although I think I also did just arrive at it. Ha! I found it just at the same time as you sent it. So embarrassing.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate you. All right, now that we're done circle jerking, it's time for a fight. Cross, it is your turn. Also, Venher, it is a bonus action to direct the turret on your turn. If you do not direct the turret, it will still fire. It will just choose its own targets.
All right.
Okay.
Just asking for a friend. What sort of action is it to close the doors?
Technically speaking, I think you can close and open doors as part of your movement.
But so I'd have to be physically at these doors. I can't do it like, you know.
Oh, just like I know. I think you can wave your hand in as a free action, just like to think, lock the doors.
All right,
to
good to know.
All right, so
Firestorm.
Yeah,
Firestorm
casting
over Cronus?
Firestorm. I have 7 there. Would putting them on the white bits do anything?
That is a wonderful question that you will soon find the answer to.
All right, so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Fuck it. Why not? Let's burn the gates of hell. Go.
Nice.
I don't know. Did
My
that do
character
the
is-
damage? My God, it's actually not that bad of a roll.
All right. Well, they
If
did.
things didn't just take a 23 and a 21.
Much like school funding, you're putting it on the white bits.
I love this show. I fucking love this show.
Did you? All right. Am I good to remove it?
Yeah. So, as by the way, I'm assuming this has like a somatic component. Yeah.
Yes, verbal and somatic.
As you move, as you like wave your hands and let loose your fortigima, you
hell.
feel a strange coldness tingle in your. Oh, someone's getting a call.
Who's Dingle in the Dangle?
Sorry, that's me.
You feel a strange
Close them all,
coldness
please.
spreading through your arm, your crystal arm, and as you do so, you see the fires breach through into these rents in reality, and the light coming off them sparks with your flames, and something answers, belching forth cold. You can move your squares, by the way.
Okay. I didn't delete something else, did I? No, okay. Just squares.
Yeah, so an unnatural frost has begun to spread from the gates in response to the fire.
Oh, no.
And that's not actually terrible for you because of what's about to happen. But first, the Farborn Harrier made his save, so he gets a halvesy. If I'm remembering that spell right. And the Farborn Harrier and some other people are now about to make a con save. Alright, so the frost flows out and freezes 2 of them almost solid.
That is unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah, as this happens, Kraz, you feel your words reflected back into you. But as you ponder the words, you reflect upon them and find hidden there a message. Roll an int save for me.
Fuck.
So that was Kraz's turn, yeah? Or do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I mean, I only got a bonus action. You can't cast multiple times. No, not really. That's when I just.
Boom. Alright. That Void Torn is a pile of ash right now. This Void Torn is frozen solid. She's going to try and break free. She is not going to succeed. It is a Bescaled Berserker's turn.
Oh, are we at full health and full void or full not void points, but full spike points?
Yeah. This creature is raging. Real fucking hard. You say theirs is the ultimate rage. And they are going to take a primal leap across 25 feet to Kraz.
Can you not?
As part of that action, it makes a rancid claw attack. It scores an 18, missing your AC.
Oh, thank God.
It makes now it makes an unhinged bite attack. That's
that
a
hits.
hit. It delivers 24 piercing damage.
Ouchie, wouchie.
Yep, and oh, by the way, is everyone still hashtag blessed? Because you cast that recently, right? Is that why everyone has the... No, you guys have the wings because you have
that
wings
was from
on.
when we were flying earlier.
Yeah, you actually have fucking wings on you. Never mind. Alright. So that's that Bescaled Berserker's turn. It's a Wild Claw's turn. This Wild Claw is going to advance 40 feet and toss its brew bomb at the turret.
Well.
Yeah, the turret is, it's made of sterner stuff than that, but you do see some cracks appearing, and one of the focus crystals is kind of like leaking red light and skittering and scattering as arcs of lightning escape from it. Maligna
I imagine you
begins to
didn't
drip.
count the poison damage.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's the
Just
force
wanted to
damage.
make sure you weren't like, aha, your turret has been poisoned.
No.
Yeah, but Force is a bitch to...
I guess it got a virus.
Yeah, so...
Why are you a horse?
It's then going to take a wild bow shot. At Kraus. A 12 does not hit Kraus. It is the Farborn Harrier's turn. And the Farborn Harrier takes one look in this direction and sniffs and knows it's where it wants to go. It rounds the corner and finds one Joyfried in its way, and it gives you, you know, that feel when you're in like a battle between dimensional forces, and the goat steps around a corner and gives you this look.
What the fuck?
I'm not trying to fuck a goat
All right.
See,
tonight.
Tonight.
you act like it's a choice.
So they are going to make 2 Harrier Claw swings, both of which are going to be hits.
Yeah, it looks like a hit.
Do you have any special resistance to psychic damage or anything like that, or no?
No, I do not have any special resistances at all. I
5,
hate this
7,
a lot.
7.
I hate
Alright, it
these
slashes,
claws.
Hey.
the claws dig into you, and you feel your blood spatters the corridor.
Squishy, squishy.
It is Venner's turn. He sees that both of his minions have already been engaged in melee by some fairly nasty out front hitters that he's encountered before. And he sees his turret has just taken a direct hit. His turret will fire at the end of his turn. He can use a bonus action to focus fire. It shoots twice.
Okay, I wanted to shoot at this guy right here.
Oh, and this guy has thrown his brew bomb, so I should relieve him of that. Alright, so he uses his Blessing of the Wind to gain +3 AC against his first attack of the turn. It doesn't matter because the turret rolled a fucking 29.
What can I say?
10.
Spiteful engineering.
Yeah, so it blasts into it, rips at him, but this guy is a dedicated fucking druid. He's fought long and hard and trained in the astral wastes. He's ready for you. So he's still alive, despite taking a direct fucking hit. And is there anybody else you want shooting at, or him again?
Shoot at the other one. This guy up here.
This lad? Yeah, sure. That is a miss. It instead impacts the green goo behind it. And it drives it back a ways as it's like fried.
Oh, hell yeah. Take that, green goo. I don't even like you. No one likes green things. For example, Kermit the Frog, historically unpopular.
So, Venner, that was your bonus action. Is there any main action or free actions you would like to take at this point in time? Would you like perhaps move?
Moving. Yeah, moving might be helpful.
You currently stand at the base of the stair. As you can see, there's like a little thing here about like 5 foot raised, 10 foot raised, 15 foot raised.
I'm gonna get some banelings up in this bitch.
Oh, we have Pilgrim here. Hello, Pilgrim. Pilgrim, would you care to tell me how many viewers we have? Because I actually can't check that. You want some banelings up in this bitch? Alright, where are you casting that? And pop the spell, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes.
Banelings within 30 feet of you. Where'd you want your banelings at?
Oh, hell yes. 30 feet. So... Can I get like one right up here, one right up here, one right up here, and one like right over here?
You have a fourth?
Yes. Right over here. In front of Cross. Yeah.
They pop into existence suddenly. One of them is like using a hair comb. The other is waxing between their toes. They all look around like, and you know, presumably you want them to start murdering things.
Yes, indeed. I would very much enjoy if they murdered things.
All right. This one takes the help action, granting Joyfried advantage on her next attack against the Farborn Harrier.
Ooh, I like that.
And the other one just sort of tries to like give a slash with its claws. It doesn't really manage to do anything to the. Actually, doesn't manage to do anything to the Harrier. The other two go at it. One of them manages to. Both of them manage to get through. 8, 10, 18. This lad seems to have resistance to literally all kinds of damage, and he's raging so fucking hard right now. And yeah, so that's your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, your banelings have popped into existence here from where they were, and they're going at it. It's a Wild Claw's turn. This Wild Claw is going to pull up, see the situation, and decide that he would like to, toss a brew bomb into the situation. He's throwing it at Cross. 25 is going to hit Cross.
No.
And can you make a con save for me?
$11.
Alright, so we're gonna see if the banelings can make this save. One of them sort of like chokes from the poison and ceases to exist. The other one manages to stay standing. And the Wild Claw's other attack is going to be, he's going to try and shoot at the turret. Actually, he's gonna close a different distance and stab his Kai Fen blade right into one of the crystals.
Well, that's just inconsiderate.
Ripple of fire explodes through it and destroys this one crystal, taking out one of your arcs of fire. The turret is not in a great way. It is a Void Thorn's turn. This bitch ain't frozen, so she's gonna move it up. She makes an effort to attack with her unmetal curved blade one of the imps. She is going to fail to hit this little baneling. And it is now another Void Turn's turn. She is frozen and is now irrelevant. It is Kraz's turn.
So...
Wait, am I on the... I don't know if I'm on the initiative board,
Fuck! What did you roll?
let me go back and see.
This is why you have to have your character selected.
She rolled a 17 initially.
Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Bingo, bingo, bongo. So you make a really quick makeup turn, and then we'll go to Kraz, and then back to you.
Sorry, I totally forgot that I had to like manually add myself to the order. I just rolled. Okay, so I do not like this motherfucker being so close to me. It makes me feel gross, and I want to stop him from living. So I'm going to cast a vendetta on him, and if I...
Can we actually get the police song "Don't Stand So Close to Me" playing? Great.
I'm afraid they probably have the copyright, which would get the VOD muted.
Don't
So?
stand so. Don't stand so.
Fuck
close
that
to
guy
me.
in particular. Let me do my vendetta upon him.
5, supposedly. That's good. We just need to keep that 3-viewer average.
Okay, so then I'm gonna attack him twice.
Alright, and your first attack will have advantage.
Nice. I like that a lot.
The banelings out here, much like, you know, What's-His-Face had Potcoin out there helping him out during the Kim Jong-un summit. The banelings out there
Dennis
helping
Rodman?
you out. Yeah.
Alright. Good. Are they going through? Are my rolls doing great?
I haven't seen them appear yet.
I haven't seen a single one.
That's annoying. Come on. Do the thing. Damn it! Ah! Why is it not working? Clicking you.
Try refreshing the Roll20 page. Maybe
Try
that'll
turning it off and on again.
Okay, I'm refreshing my page. Otherwise, I'll have to do that manually, which is annoying.
I can also go into your sheet and try and trigger a worst case scenario.
Yeah, okay. I think it'll probably work after I refresh it, but let me just. Sorry.
Yeah, because you might have just like. Roll20 isn't really good if you just spontaneously lose connection for like a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna stop halfway through this since this Roll20 isn't really good.
Yeah. But
Dang,
there's
Max.
no real alternatives.
I mean, it's
It's like fantasy
terrible,
grounds
but by far the
if you want
best.
to pay money and have something worse, which I don't. So,
I mean,
all right, Patty Poo, how are you doing?
Yeah, I might ask you to help me with this. Can you?
For sure. Yeah, you got me out there helping you out, like Dennis Rodman and Potcoin.
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
I mean, yeah,
Oh.
Potcoin. What is this?
Are you
wait,
are you embarrassed for the whole internet?
Sword of. Wait.
Bam! The sword of the star. Oh right, that's already
Wait.
shattered.
That's already dead.
Whatever. The
sorry.
attack works. The attack happens. Which you want to attack
Okay.
with your regular greatsword +1 or whatever, right?
Yep, that's what I was trying to
And then
click.
we
They
just
just weren't. They just weren't working for a minute.
yeah. I will just plus that, and then I'll just hit the damage on it.
The only difference is that it's a +9 instead of a +10.
Do the -12. Does the Farborn Harrier have? After being hit in melee, they use their reaction to use Counter Strike.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Well,
fuck! I just got a big bloop in my ears.
Big boop.
A big bloop.
somebody started following.
Oh, 12-sided guy. Hey, 12-sided guy, what's up? Wonderful to see you. It's a very, very nice lad. Very
Okay,
friendly.
so my greatsword damage twice, and I also deal vendetta damage. Let me pop that one up too. And
Alright,
the
Fortnite,
first
that's
attack
fight.
is considered a critical, right?
Yeah, as long as you've declared vendetta against them.
I certainly did. Remember? That was the first thing I did.
For sure.
And I guess what is that? Another? Do I roll another d6 or 2d6?
Yeah.
Kind of digging this song, I'll admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's it from?
I'm pretty sure.
It's familiar.
I think it's a Kevin MacLeod song, so it's like royalty free, so it's probably in a lot of stuff. By the way, 12-sided guy, if you're listening, we have a thing where followers get to name generic NPCs. All of the enemies in the field right now, like the Wild Claws, Void Torns, Bescale Berserker, and Farborn Harrier, are generic NPCs. So hit me up in chat with any name ideas, and we can.
Okay, so I
down
deal
that for you.
58 damage to the motherfucker.
Yeah, Jesus. You tear him apart. He's barely standing. You put him to below like a 5th HP, and his grin is gone. His smile and optimism destroyed. He's just like blood all over the place. Just a flurry as your blade hums across him, and you feel your hair turn whiter and whiter as spite consumes you, tearing apart your foe.
Okay, but he deserved it. I'm not gonna feel bad about this.
12 SG, a fine choice. Who are
Embrace
we?
it.
Who is becoming
Give in
Dirk
to your
Cutlass?
hate.
The Void Torns do have unmetal blades that are curved. Alright, so now we're popping back around to Kraz, and then we're gonna go right back to another Joyfried turn. So Kraz, make your play. Banishment!
So this is going to be targeting the Bescale Berserker.
Hold on, you're trying
This
to...
is at 8th spell slot. So
Okay, you know that the Bescale... You as a character know that the Bescale Berserker is of this plane.
yes, it'll banish them to another plane, won't it?
If the target...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
And we're moving currently, right? The pyramid.
Yes, I believe so. We are taking
So-
evasive maneuvers.
if they come back in a minute, the pyramid might not be there anymore, and they'll just fall.
I mean,
and smack into the floor.
We're literally just doing a series of barrel rolls right now, so it's not going to end well for them.
You go off. You guys, by the way, hear a.
So this is
as the pyramid seems to fly up a bit and grow lighter, and something massive plummets into the waters below. You guys are like over the ocean as a storm occurs. Sounds like the lawyer demon has just finished ejecting the lower levels.
Well done, lawyer demon.
All right, so a whole bunch of people have to make a save, right?
You earned your retainer.
Yeah. So Berserker, both of the elf dudes, and the Void Torn that isn't frozen.
All right, I'm assuming only the 21 hits your spell save DC. So, banished. Banished.
Go to the Shadow Realm.
Banished. The Shadow Realm. All right, so ironically, only the people here from another plane have it in them to stay. We're back to the Joyfried turn then, unless Cross wants to do something else on his turn.
I can move. That's about it, but I don't want
to.
You
could spiteful weapon, couldn't you?
I mean, in theory, yeah, I guess I could.
Wow, don't sound too excited about it.
Yeah. Let me smack that thingy.
Smack that all over the floor.
So that's that spell slot used, and let me try.
All right, 12-sided guy. We're gonna say this one is the dirt cutlass.
That spiteful weapon's gonna be hitting the Harrier, by the way. Does that hit? And it's gonna be this.
The Harrier? That's a hit. All right, yeah. So yeah, as Joyfried is cutting this thing up, like a weird purple mace appears and just bonks him over the head.
That's a mace, I promise you.
So yeah, Joyfried, it's your turn.
Ah, damn! It didn't kill him. Pity. Okay.
Well, no, that's great because you can trigger your thing now.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah.
That's why we're gonna try and banish him.
Remember how your class heals?
No, I approve of this. Strongly approve of this. Also, the version that I was able to see was an old version, and it doesn't have like anything of the Gouger specification. Where did you send it? By the way, the PDF.
Fuck.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's not fine.
Mad.
Hopefully that will work. Otherwise,
where are you sending it?
To your Pat Facebook.
Okay, good. I'll find it.
I'm having to just send you screenshots because the PDF is not being agreeable right now.
You can just send me screenshots. That works perfectly.
Right.
So to clarify, can I attack, move, and attack?
Yes, you may.
Assuming I kill this motherfucker.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Awesome. Okay, so let me...
Well, now you're making all these plans assuming you kill him. The law of spite says...
Alright, so you land that hit.
Fuck this one guy in particular! That's what the law of spite says.
Alright, so you do the 12, but not the 7 because it's not the crit, but I assume you do the spite damage. Oh yeah, so the vendetta damage, you deal 26 to him, and thus, as he dies... heal 26. He is cut down and his soul eviscerates as he tumbles backwards into another plane of existence, dead there as well.
Yeah, fuck you. What you get for sticking your gross fingers in me.
It's still your turn.
Hot.
Okay. So I am therefore going to make one square of movement, and I'm going to try my darndest to slice into this motherfucker with my bastard sword.
Alright, Dirk Cutlass is about to eat a fucking crit off of a +1 greatsword, so she's probably not long for this world. Does she have any reactions she can use? Nope. Alright.
And then I roll another 2d6.
Yep. -9, -3. Yeah, because I assume you declare vendetta on her. It's a bonus.
I mean, I wasn't planning on vendettaing her because I'm assuming I'm gonna. Well, no, okay, I'll go ahead and.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I just thought, because did you not just roll like the first hit being a crit?
Yeah, no, actually, I did not vendetta her. Not yet, certainly.
Okay, then that 7 damage doesn't happen. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
it is just 9 plus 3, so it is just 12 and 7. So
Wait, and
just
7?
9 damage.
So the 2d6 is coming from the crit, though, right? That you would get it.
It is a normal crit. It is a 20.
But that 3 is your crit damage.
All right, and for those who just tuned in, this is the math podcast.
Sorry.
We sit here and we argue about math. I'm going to talk about my favorite number today.
This void's turn is frozen. It's a Bescaled
7.
Berserker's turn. He is in a
God,
different
I'm
plane
sorry.
of existence. How long do they stay banished? Up to a minute. Alright,
to a
I'm
minute.
going to put the constipation face on Kraz. He's making a real bearded lizard look. It is Venher's turn. Venher, the fight seems to have turned mostly in your minion's direction. All the immediate threats seem to be either tied up, frozen, or banished to another realm.
Well, in that case, I'm not going to fucking waste a spell or anything.
You feel something tingle around your heart.
Tingle wingle.
Can I, like, reach inside myself? Wait, can I use Detect Spite on myself?
Yes.
Do I detect anything weird?
You detect a lot of spite.
That's good. It's a good sign.
You have spite for both yourself and others.
Oh, that's the 2 types of spite.
Yep.
Part of a balanced spite breakfast. That being said, it does not explain the tingling. I was afraid the tingling was a lack of spite, but that is not the issue.
So, yeah, so Venher, are you making any moves?
I'm gonna, like, stay at alert because of this tingling, but I don't see anything immediately to do.
Alright. It's Dirk Cutlass's turn. She uses her unmetal curved blade to try and slash at Joyfried and fails.
Oh, well,
It's
do my
Kraz's
minions do
turn.
anything on this turn?
Oh,
And
yeah,
does
yeah,
it
yeah,
return
yeah.
auto fire without me even doing anything?
Yes, thank you. I almost forgot.
The god is omnipotent. I cannot forget.
One of them, they blast apart one of the frozen Void Torns, and then they shoot at Dirk Cutlass. Hit. And Dirk Cutlass gets a damage dump on her. However, she is going to take 2 strain and make a whiz save. She is still blasted into a billion bits. There's just sort of some gore in front of Joyfried now. Your Mignons run around troublesomely. But the immediate damage the immediate danger seems to be gone from most of the sources, but that green stuff is back. And it's it's encroaching.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you hear a popping and whirring as various gaskets come loose and pressure is released as it just sort of forces its way into this 2 small hallways, crunches outwards, slithering into every hole and then expanding.
Shit sticks.
Imagine if the turret still worked.
Well, it doesn't in that direction anymore, which is a bit of a pain.
So,
wait, okay, here's a question. This green nonsense is magical in nature, correct?
Correct.
Would an anti-magic field
Roll
Not
Arcana.
bad.
do anything to it? Okay.
You believe that an anti-magic field would deaden its growth because its capacity to expand is coming directly from its connection to the woad. If you cut that cord, it's nothing.
Alright,
So-
unfortunately I can only make an anti-magic field 10 foot by 10 foot, so not super helpful. but it's around myself, so I got like a bubble hearth if need be.
Fucking paladins.
Yeah, instead of that though, I'm gonna step forward. Are we still in combat movement, or is combat over?
I would say you have a minute. You have a minute until the people who are banished come back. But for now, no, you don't have to worry about that.
All right.
This one.
That one is frozen solid.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna move down, and I'm gonna cast Firestorm on the green.
All right. Highlight where you're firestorming.
All right, and how many squares do I get again?
7.
10.
10. Never mind.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Let me see.
Yeah, 10-foot cubes.
Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second to do a great deal of drawing. Okay. And each of these squares is 5 feet, so.
Yeah, the square is 5. And they have to like.
God, it's really hard to see the grid.
It is. Yeah, I was having trouble.
That's 1.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right, roll that fucking fire damage, boy.
All right. You ready for this? Have you prepared? Because I have it.
All right, so your firestorm advances and scorches away almost all of the shit that was encroaching. However, a certain sac remains that bursts and gives forth spores.
God damn.
Or rather, sprouts.
So, what does the turret side that's broken look like? Like, how bad is it broken?
The crystal that it focuses the energy through to shoot the laser is cracked. Someone stabbed an elvish dagger into it.
So I want to just touch it and.
It mends itself and is now fully operational again.
Fuck yeah!
Yes, it should. This battle station is fully operational.
You have about 30 seconds before these people come back from the void, by the way. It obviously begins shooting at the newly acquired targets.
I mean, if I know they're going to be coming back in 30 seconds, I'm going to make damn sure that here isn't here in 30 seconds. You catch my drift.
Yeah. Heavy damage is dealt to the sprouts.
I'm less worried about the sprouts, more worried about the big bag.
Which one's the big bag?
The green
thing.
cube of even.
Yeah. There's like a field of like 5 feet around these guys of like spores that they begin to spread.
Oh. Oh yeah, it is kind of hard to see the grid.
So, does anybody want to like? There's like you got like 2 turns left before the scaled berserkers come back, like 3 turns. Do you want to box off with the sprouts? Do you want to let the sprouts just get fucked up by the turret?
Oh, what's the range of this? Hey, I think I'm in range of this. This is at like the sprout with like the lowest HP.
The sprout with the lowest HP.
Yeah, top one. So I'm pretty sure I'm within 60 feet.
makes a dex save, and eats 7. Yeah, it breaks apart under the spiteful glare of energy that descends upon it.
That one's like almost out of range.
Yeah, the other one, advances 30 feet after it has its chance, and
Spooky.
What's the play here?
Does he get shot at by the turret?
Yeah, the turret fucking fries him, actually. One of its attack nearly misses. The other hits, boom, it's gone. This thing sort of wilts. But you do see, like, in the walls, it seems that the green stuff that's spread in there has fairly effectively taken hold.
Damn it, it's coming through the wall sphincters.
Not the forbidden tomatoes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you guys, it's like, you got, with 10 seconds remaining, what you do is the Scaled Berserker and Wild Claws are about to return.
Get further away. They spooky scary.
The colors out of time begin to pour forth a terrible, unnatural, cool ice. And as it happens, Karaz makes a charisma save.
It's a song of ice and green.
Does a 14 do?
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. And by that I mean, Kraz hears a whisper. And it says, "Take the godling's throne for me, and we will usher in a new dawn with you at my right hand. Reptile."
Don't take the deal. The right hand is the one he jerks off with.
Wouldn't that be the best part of the deal?
No, because you're doing it. You don't get any. There's no reciprocation.
And?
I'm just saying, I appreciate some quid pro quo in my god-hand job relationships.
I haven't gotten any quid pro quo.
Yeah, because I don't require you to give me a hand job, so,
So yeah, they're about to come back out from banishment. Anything extra is done?
I kind of want us to pull back behind the doors and shut them. Because I have a feeling a bunch of shit's about to go down outside with the green stuff and the ice stuff. And I kind of just won't want to duke it out at this point.
Alright. Well, you guys are free to move yourselves where you want to be when it goes down.
Alright, Ben here, how are you going to articulate that to us?
I'm going to say pull back.
Okay. I'm going to pull out.
The best method.
The only method.
We only support natural family planning here.
Yes. The backdoor strategy.
Fuck. That method works too.
Alright, so you guys can't see what's going on outside anymore, right?
Unless I have, like, cameras or some shit.
Oh. One moment. How about now?
Now we can.
No, yeah.
Alright, you guys hear shooting, exploding, splazing, and overall, like, you feel a sense of, like, coldness advancing. And
The DM secretly laments that his 4 paragraphs of texts that he planned for this will never get read.
you feel something, Max, tingling in you again, and you feel the need to return to your throne.
Alright, I will, in a god-like stride, make my way to my throne.
Okay, so you're about to sit down on the throne when the warp globe shatters into a bajillion pieces, and everyone here makes a dex save.
Oh no.
Ah,
God damn.
shit. I like
is
that.
not great.
My grandmother made it for me.
This is aggressively not amazing.
That is literally the worst it could be.
Imagine.
Oh my god. Oh my vent here. Wait,
Alright,
did I accidentally do that twice? I'm sorry.
So people who got below an
Seemingly not doing
18
rather
are
similar
about
roll.
to take some shrapnel damage.
Imagine the slowest
Yeah, that's
boy.
valid. Ooh, that is a white crystal there, huh?
Alright, so 15 shrapnel damage to those who did not make it, which I think is like all of you?
No, I made it. I got an 18. Go away.
Alright, so yeah, you guys get cut up a little. And a color out of time has appeared in the throne room. It seethes before you. And within it, you see a million billion different horrors, each swirling through an endless multitude of possibilities. It hungers. It seeks. And now, it comes.
Ooh.
Max, you seem to be confronted with some serious shit, and you see a legion of foes that are just like about to advance out of that hole.
All right, I have a gambit.
Mhm.
What?
Can you
I'm
do
not
that?
entirely sure what this will do. I'm also not entirely sure if we established possibilities as to what this might do. But I believe it's time to multiply by 0.
What?
Or multiply by a negative
Oh,
number.
Okay, so you feel so like hold on. So what do you try? So you want to cast a miracle?
It's actually not a miracle. It's an 8th level spell.
Okay, but I put your miracles in 8th level spells.
Really? No, you put my miracles in 9th level spells.
Oh right, because you forged that spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You... Just to clarify, in the seconds before this happens, what do Joyfried and Cross do?
I may have fucked everything. I have no idea what it's gonna do.
Wait,
I don't know. Probably.
So the warp
get ready to
globe
die.
explodes, and then a whole bunch of like terrible things from another dimension are flooding into the room.
And we're cut off.
my
from
character
Milwaukee.
says, I wanted to watch the world burn, but not like this. Not like this.
Okay. Venher, you cast the spell, Kronos' Folly, and suddenly you feel yourself jerked forward. You see yourself sitting down on the throne, something flashes before your eyes, and all of the enemies are defeated. And then, you're in the dream well, and you're right into one of the snares. Somehow you know it's inevitable.
Oh, fuckity fuck.
Oh shit.
The God Hunter descends, and right as her blade is about to strike your chest, flying through space and time, everything suspends. The world drains of its color, and you cease to be there. And right as you would have plummeted into you, she flies backwards. You feel as if though a gear within you is ticking. Somehow you know it's Kronos' bookmarks, her clocks in time, ticking, ticking, ticking all the way to the beginning of the end of the start. You look out over a blasted world, centuries into the future. You see a hero descending from a peak? No. Ascending. In reverse. It's the God Hunter. You see her forge, or unforge, a blade of all of the elements of the fallen gods. But as she travels the world, it is not one you recognize. It has been torn asunder, floating islands, glades that head into other worlds, terrible beasts feeding in every corner. Everyone and everything torn apart, destroyed, not like it was, but there is still shadows of the past. You see that she fights malignants for the final scraps of your ever-giving fonts of Malignia. She steals from the timekeepers the liquid essence of Kronos. For each of the gods, she finds what remains of their distilled essence and she takes it. This, you realize, is what she poured into her blade that became an unstoppable force. You, after you, get to the point of her, about to dive through and kill you, at this weird machine covered in, runes and, papers all over, one of which you notice as the treatise on untotaled time, you feel something snap within you, breaking, rending apart, as if though this is a place to which you can never return. And you resume watching events unfold in reverse. You watch as the God Hunter de-ages. You have a little Benjamin Button sequence here. And you watch as she goes from, the entity that would try to kill all the gods to a child in a caravan of a last few desperate people. You watch over time as that caravan turns back to a circle of the final heroes, and from there, the final citadel beneath the earth, where civilization had continued in spite of the gods leaving. You see their teachings, the last lords, decreeing death unto the gods by all means necessary, as those who had delivered this doom upon their world. You see all of them mark down the names of long-dead gods and spike curses upon them, lay plans for their destruction. Plans that never came to fruition. They'll try and they'll try, and as time goes back further and further, you feel cogs break and break, and as you do each time, you see another impression, another whisper, hear a louder voice, a familiar one, the clicking of brass heels, and Kronos' voice. And as you travel through time, you see each of the gods stabbed terribly as the God Hunter descends upon them through her snares, undoing them in totality in the same single blow, the same stab through time she was descending at you at the end of, or at the beginning of. It seems she was going in the opposite direction. And there, finally, at her first and last stop, you arrive beneath the moldering tower where terrible mistakes were made with the Heartseed, unmade and made in time, melting and exploding all at once. And you see Kronos in her own city, turning around, shocked, frightened, and making one desperate jump forward, using her knowledge, a jump forward through time. This you feel is the bottom of a coil, a stack of winding gears. The final seal, the first bookmark, and the last. Kronos turns, but it's not to the person, not to the woman about to kill her. The woman with wild shock white hair and red eyes, whose skin strikes you as a shade too familiar, whose blade was about to pierce your breast, but rather she turns right to you, and she says, "There's not time. Take my hand, we have to go, it needs to happen. 10,000 different versions of the same message play out as her hand jerks around on different vectors. Things speed up and slow down at once, and all there is Kronos' hand reaching out to you. There's not much of you left, more like a whisper. Ennui fills you. If you exist at all, it is only as a mote of spite. But you feel that if you use what is left, you could reach out a hand and take hers. And together, spite time. You are at the end of her tricks. She can travel only to her bookmarks. and she discovered the secrets far too late to use them in a clever way to cheat the system. But you, yes, you, think you could do otherwise. But is this a trick? Why did she send her power through time ahead to you? Was it all a plan? Trust has never been very natural for Venher. But here at the end, with just Kronos and you, there's a choice. Meanwhile, back in the throne room. So Venher, he like shoots straight back in his throne. His head goes straight up. His mouth opens, and a red beam of spite strikes the ceiling and cascades all throughout the room. Both of you are set to max spite as you feel energy flowing through you, and there is just a legion of these fucking things out of time pouring out, but you know they don't matter. It's the color itself. The fucking color. Out of time, out of space. Unyielding, unknowable, unimaginable, and yet so profane. Already of this world, embedded in it, in your memories, in your minds. You can see it in the past, the present, maybe even the future. And Cross, as you are faced with damnation, a left hand in darkness reaches out and touches your crystal arm, and you hear whispering in your head, "Bring me the Godling's throne and be my champion." The third eyes of the Voidtorns turn to you, awaiting.
Oh no, they're all just staring at me?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Does Joyfried hear that?
Nope, this is right in Kroz's mind. You could roll an insight, because your friend Kroz here doesn't seem to be flinging his spells for some reason. Seems like it would be murder time to you.
Insight. Okay.
I'm just gonna stand there and not act. I'm still just like lost in thought.
Alright, he's like, "You fool.
Like,
You hesitate at the key moment. A worthless, cold-blooded coward." And as this happens, you feel your hand, your crystal arm, reach up for your own throat.
Oh, I love this scene.
But before it can impact, you see the green tips, originally just on the edges of your fingers, shoot through to the palm and explode, blowing the hand off the crystal and delivering 2d10 force at point blank to you. You now don't have a right hand, but you feel something terrible is like beginning to emerge and twist out of the stump of the crystal arm. You're gonna try and use your mouth to remove your crystal arm.
yes.
All right,
You could
Joyfried.
just articulate this to the person next to you with a sword, you dumbass.
At the beginning of this fight, I was considering just cutting your arm off because I was getting super suspicious of it. But I thought, I don't need this arm. I should have done it.
Do you want?
Yeah, cut it.
All right. You gain advantage on this attack, Joyfried.
Fuck.
You just we need a clean lop. You gotta hit a 20.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Jesus Christ, she's gonna miss and just behead me.
Yeah, watch it just be.
All right, so I would say roll damage and we'll divide it. We'll have your damage, but roll your damage. All right. So real quick for me, could you? So Joyfried's blade strikes true, and your crystal arm hits the ground and shatters, turning to a flaming liquid pile that burns with this color out of time. And you roll a con save as you try to not have the natural reaction, just losing your fucking arm. All right, you're kind of fucked, but the pain is overtaking you, but it's go time.
It's a good thing.
It is a good pain, but yeah, no, it's fucking go time right here, and it looks like everybody is trying to reach Venher. So you guys now have your turns, and the lawyer malignant pops out to try and two of the greater malignants pop out and try and shield Venher, but you don't get the feeling that they are like stand down a legion kind of minions. So
right. Is one of them my daddy?
Actually, Max, where did you put Daddy? Who you had just guarding the purposeless box? Where was he?
I imagine he was on the lower levels that got jettisoned.
All right. Well,
okay. That's fair. He's
actually
dead.
No. Wait, I'm not gonna put some. He was up on the upper level, so I could appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. As this happens, you hear the doors get pried open, and you see a sort of a mixed blessings kind of situation. So the greenness is back, and it's trying to make its push. However, there are also some mignons in the mix who are trying to get forward and defend, because there's we have a new follower. What's their name? I'm gonna have to wait on the pad for the delay.
G-Dubs. 05.
G-Dubs. Hey, G-Dubs, you're allowed to rename a generic NPC so any of these green-bordered fools. You guys, and as this happens, Kronos' hand is reaching out, but fading through time as the blade approaches her breast, and it becomes the time of decision. And meanwhile, back in the throne room,
Jesus.
yeah, you guys feel the heat as these green spores just burst through, but there's also the malignants who are like dancing up to try and fucking fight them. Just pure blades of spite and just embedding into random people. Like, they're here to fucking fight. And they are not taking anybody's shit. I hope you can appreciate these wildly abstract shapes. I did not wind up getting any demon art done. And
what are those wild shapes?
See, they spite one's expectations of their own visuals.
Oh yeah, no, I see it. I fuck with it.
So yes.
The interior color if you want.
Yeah. So generally speaking, there are the malignants, and there is the legion from of the color out of time, and they're just pouring out of this gate. Your god is on his crystal throne, facing his fate. You can see without you in there to disarm the snares in the dream well, defending him from the God Hunter. What are you gonna do, Cross? What are you gonna do? You just lost your right fucking arm. Have fun with the somatic component spells. What are you gonna do? Also, you lose your psychic abilities.
Wait,
you have no psionic abilities this time.
All I have is a war. All I have is a shield.
Oh shit! Do you guys want to like buddy up here and like do a shield bash run? I mean, you guys can do whatever you want.
Wait, can I not heal your arm with like a restoration or something?
I think it's a greater restoration to bring back a limb, isn't it?
Restoration or regeneration?
Let me see if I even have that. Let me see if I even have access to that, because I don't remember having that. I mean,
nice
I could do, I have Aura of Vitality, and I could do Create Food and Water, and I could just be accountable.
The food being the arm, the water being the blood. Exactly. I see no fault in this.
Yeah, just there won't be any bone.
I mean, yeah, but who needs bone in their arm?
Someone hoping to cast somatic spells, I suppose.
I'm just saying, if he's ever killed an eaten person, be like, oh, see, this wing's boneless. They'll be very excited.
Yeah, so, let me see. I really don't have anything I can do. I have healing abilities, obviously. I have the healing spell. I have Aura of Life.
So I can't do anything somatic?
No, you can't. I'm sure I would say you can use your tail as a substitute for your right arm during the somatic spells.
Jesus.
I think you mean Ven here.
Yeah, Ven here. Fuck. That's hilarious. You just see a dancing lizard with a shield and the tail.
Yeah.
Doing weird things. Well, shit.
Yeah, that's one way to describe the situation.
Can I use Spike Strike? I don't have
What does the spell description say?
a leader of Maligna. Malignant.
Well, there's definitely, you see like the red stuff like pouring through like the veins in the walls. So you think that maybe if you like punch some glass and like put your hand in it, you might grab a leader.
Schmack. I schmack. Can I do that?
Yeah, give me a fucking strength.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, now I have more damage to repair my floating pyramid. Thanks.
Your pyramid's falling apart. Don't even talk.
Alright, so Kraz, you wanna run over here and just like smash a wall?
Cross smash.
Alright, so you use your shield to actually embed it, and now you got more than the leader of Malignity is like falling over you, like it burns a bit as it spites you. And
That's
like but
fine.
it is a good pain. What are you gonna do? You feel the energy flowing through you. You almost want to drink of the forbidden Kool-Aid.
So with the forbidden Kool-Aid washing over me, so would I think that just throwing spite at the entrance, would that just go straight through it and just like smack something on the other side, or would that cause damage to the portal?
The color?
Yeah.
If you were to get just like, if you were thinking that if you were to funnel the liquid essence of your god's energy into this other dimension,
Yeah.
interesting things would happen.
I want to do that.
Okay, how do you propel it? Do you have a hose on hand? Like, describe this for me.
Shit.
What is the
Oh.
human body but a hose?
Spit it out.
Huh? Oh, no, I'm not just gonna spit it. That doesn't sound like a good idea. So
Do you have
cover? Huh?
do you have shape water?
No, I don't. Sadly,
What if you created water behind it and used the pressure?
I don't have great water.
Oh, well, I have created water.
Yeah, but I think that's more like oh boy, a flagon of water. Flagon? Who keeps water? Oh boy, a pitcher of water was appeared
Yeah.
behind it. Now we have
Versus like
water.
a river. See, I was gonna use like.
Do you have a shield?
I don't know if that. I do have a shield.
Those
Why don't
would
you
be
just use
good
the shield
names,
for, like,
German
like-
steel.
Angle it.
I wonder.
Would that work?
I'll figure out a way to have followers who already exist rename.
But read the spell. Is that?
Dexterity save. Alright, the caster spends a rolling wave of spite. Okay, so 15-foot radius. That touches. So you want to do it?
Yeah.
Alright, so this Farborn Harrier is going to try and dex save. He is not going to make it. He is going to take, 33 damage.
Nice.
And furthermore, the
Oh,
portal behind him flashes from that color to maligna red.
nice.
And something weird is beginning to happen. It begins to turn in on itself, and those within wind up pulped to bloody bits.
Nice.
Yeah, this Farborn Harrier barely manages to escape. But the Legion is no longer pouring through, but there's still some people here. What's more, you see something strange. It seems as if though the portal is randomly clipping to places around the pyramid, and just various people who are, or malignants rather, who are hanging out here, look over from the place where like swabbing the poop deck or, fighting off some other incursion. And Joyfried sees her father, one hand holding a box, the other shoving a Void Torn's head into like a malfunctioning turret crystal that just pulps its brain goop. And it looks over, and it looks right at you. And you're not sure if you see recognition, but it's gone just as quickly as it appears, and you see other random malignants.
My character's not sure how to feel about her father anyway, so That'd be interesting.
So yeah, I would say.
Speaking of, if you recall, I did do kind of a bit of a ghetto drawing of what the malignants or the banelings. Malignants are the more powerful ones, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I sent it to you in the Facebook if you want to use it in the group.
Yes. Man, my laptop really complicates this right now, but I will try and.
Sorry. I mean, you don't have to. You literally, I mean, you already have like stick figures up. I was just like, if you want
know
something
what?
pretty,
You know what? We are taking a break at 10, so.
We are.
Anyway.
This is news to me.
Well, it might be more like 10-10, but you know. Alright, so the Farborn Harrier, point is, Farborn Harrier comes down here, and it's like, you should have chosen the winning side. And he's gonna hop down here and fucking tear the shit out of Cross.
No.
Neither of those hit you.
Still DC 20, bitch.
Yeah, because you have the
Without
shield
my
up.
arm.
This Void Torn is going to try and shoot an eye beam at Joyfried. That's going to be a hit.
that's a hit. That's a very palpable hit.
This Void Torn closes to engage with some hostiles. This Void Torn is headed for the throne and tries to hack her way through with an unmetal blade. This Void Torn is also
I have security from Norton, so I'm very resistant to hacking until they start doing it themselves to me.
The far weirder and can't something strange stabs the staff into the ground, and you all feel a shuddering as the color of the world itself seems to turn a strange yet now very familiar tinge. And it's Kroz's turn. Oh wait, no, this Void Torn also hops down here and tries to hit you with a metal blade.
No.
Good thing she doesn't have advantage. It is Kroz's turn.
So fucking ridiculous. That was a nat 1 and a nat 20.
I'm trying
That's
to
rare.
think. I guess the only thing to do is just Spite Strike again.
Yeah, thank you, German Steel. We will, in fact, be putting her class up on the DM's Guild, certainly. So I will, I'll definitely be adding everyone when that happens and such, but keep an eye out for the Graver. I think Gougers are subclass.
Graver is fucking lit. I love this class so much.
Alright, so Kraz, the catcher spends that. So you're Spite Striking again, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alright, so they both have the dex save or take that damage?
Dex saver half. Eat.
Alright. The damage washes over them as a zzzt, and it is Joyfried's turn.
Let's bust some bitches up! My character literally in character declares. No, she's actually like, for once I'm proud to say that he chose right. Cross chose right. And she's gonna move on over to here and declare vendetta against this guy. And I'm gonna attack twice.
Alright, that's 2 hits. When you hit,
Nice. The first one's a critical then. So let me roll an additional. I know they do that thing.
he counterattacks but misses.
Okay, so 6 additional, and then 2 vendettas. Because fuck these
29.
guys.
Holy shit. Yeah, okay. So you wind up healing for 29 as you just rake your blade across and just fucking paint him on that wall.
And I believe it's everyone within 20 feet who's allied to that person has to roll against fear. Because
Yeah.
I'm terrifying.
Yeah, it's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
It's just a void turn next to me.
Let me see. Brutal finisher. Oh, and they have disadvantage. When a gouger kills a creature, creatures friendly to it must make a wisdom save against my spell DC, or else become frightened. And Paul of Terror starting at the 10th level, hostile creatures within 10 feet of me. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. When a Gorger kills a creature, creatures friendly to it must make a wisdom save. It doesn't actually specify how far away they have to be. But within 10 feet, I have advantage.
Well, I think it's time for a lot more people to be making wisdom saves then.
To make a what? Yeah,
Alright,
for a lot
so, yeah, the Void Torn on the lower levels are beginning to be overtaken by fear. The ones up towards the top, less so.
Nice.
We're almost weirdy.
What was I gonna do? There was something else I was gonna do. Don't remember what it was though. I healed. I dealt fear. Was that it? That might have been it.
Yep. It is Venher's turn. And by that I mean this whole situation evolves, and the far weirder seems to be directing the energies that he is summoned against his defenders. The green stuff is getting further into the room and is beginning to come out of the walls. There are now like bursts of like malignant just flowing over the floor as green spores work their ways through the walls. The portal in the middle begins to undulate as the color out of space begins to reclaim it.
No.
That's no good.
Yeah, it
I
seems
smacked
now
it
to be
twice
some
with
sort of
spite.
weird twisting maelstrom, which is it serves no force, but is really just an unstable piece of space time that might kill everyone here at any second. And Venher is faced with the choice of a lifetime of a godhood. Will he take her hand? Additionally, from where he is, in his, I would say, before all of this happens, you can cast spells of the people who you can see from your throne.
Oh, if I can fucking do that, that changes the situation in the throne room a lot. But I'm going to take the hand.
All right. As you take her hand, you spend 2 spite points, but you do not gain ennui. In fact, you lose 1 ennui point.
Oh. That's an interesting development.
Yep.
Our god finally cares!
Yes,
How cute.
you feel filled with determination.
Will to live? This is so foreign to me.
Yes, and suddenly the final cog explodes. Everything goes light, and you are torn somewhere else. It is Venher's not turn. It is a Farborn Harrier's turn. He is dead. It is Kroz's turn, as most of these guys run away in fear. And then you wind up getting killed by something else.
So, shit, I can't spite that anymore.
There is one remaining significant threat to Venher's personage. It is the far weirder on the level that he's on.
Can I like go at it? No, I can't.
You can move through me and the dead body. I will just move aside.
But these are stairs, so he does have to reach this point. So you can get to within 10 feet of him.
Okay.
Standing right next to a color out of time.
Can I please? Oh, I'm having weird issues going up the stairs. It's because they're. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're good.
Reality undulates beside you as you come up behind this vagabond from a different dimension. He turns his beady, bespectacled eyes upon you, and his rebreather shudders.
Do I still have my spiteful weapon?
Yeah, bonus that shit.
Okay, cool. So, smack him with the arm I don't have.
He seems to lose focus on something that he was doing, and the tinge in all your eyes goes away.
Weird.
Good.
There's a tinge in my eyes. Oh no.
It was.
All right.
Now it's not.
So you moved and used a bonus action. What's your main action?
I mean, I can't do anything. I mean, so my shield's covered in malignant, right? Basically.
It's pretty covered in malignant. Yeah, that's fair to say.
I want to touch the big bad circly thing with the malignant stuff again.
That's really interesting. Make a charisma save for me.
Okay.
You feel the warp overtaking you. Kraz reaches his shield into this strange thing, and with like skink, the leather strap falls off.
No.
-1 shield, so you're at 18 AC right now. And also, though, you seem to have tainted it again as Maligna pours into this rift, and you see more malignance, and it's hopping around. You also, however, feel something stab deep into your soul. It's coming through the stub, the spectral pain of the arm you no longer have.
It's fine.
Yep.
It's
And
fine. It's the phantom pain.
you take 18 damage from the phantom pain.
Fuck. Where are
It
we
is the
here?
Far Weirder's turn. The Far Weirder turns around. And he's going to become untethered by time to add 1d4 to his initiative roll. So he is now initiative 18. And he is going to... He's going to use Masterful Drill on you. Make a wisdom save.
Wow. Rolled a 4 with a +10.
You feel something stab into your very mind. And you feel like you're at a disadvantage on the next thing you do because something's really fucking with you, man. And the Far Weirder approaches the throne as the Void Torn swing their unmetal blades, trying to hack down the legal defenses quickly erected. One of the malignants, not the lawyer, falls.
No. Malignant, whose name is not appearing in this film.
Alright, so Joyfried, it's your turn.
Okay, so the deets on this person beside me, is she part of the, is she alive still?
She's still alive, but she's cowering in fear.
Oh, good. Let her cower further.
Our boy needs help.
Mm-hmm. Oh, why am I not able to... Am I not... Alright, wait, so let me just see how many I can... Alright, let me go back. And let me... So where are these walls at? I feel like I was running into a wall just now.
Alright, so there are walls here, so you have to go up the stairs. And you have to go from here, but yeah, so you could go, like, you could reach the spiteful weapon in a single move if you have 30 feet movement.
Okay. Yep.
Actually, wait, are the wings still active on you guys?
Let me check how long they last for.
Oh, that'd be dope. And that gives me a 40 fly speed, right?
Wings of Spite. I'm not actually casting it. I just did that so it would show up for everyone.
1 hour. 1 hour is probably past.
Yeah.
Actually,
okay,
yeah. But yeah, so you managed to get there in a single move. Do you want to like dash or something to try and jump into the way of the enemy, or?
Yeah, I mean, our god is kind of like mad incapacitated at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5.
So Venher's like head is like tilted back, and through his masked mouth is coming like this beam of red energy, right? This malignant energy. As you get here, it turns streaked red and gold. Or is it bronze, perhaps? And then everything around you shudders, and you all hear a rapid clicking of gears.
Oh shit.
1,000 years plays out in an instant. Venher watches the green moon turning the world into a lush but hostile paradise, far more unrestrained than it had ever been in its earliest days. And then, snapping to the beginning, there's nothing. And he is nothing at first. But then, as he looks out over a volcanic waste, a furtive pygmy in a pool, impact, shuddering, fire, and then rain. As the world cools, the last green of the moon above falls, giving a slight gift of life to this blasted world. A world that has suddenly become very familiar to Venher. Suddenly, over the course of course, millennia. But now that he is fully formed from whatever degenerate state he found himself in, time and existence all running together, Venher awakens. Not as he was, but as something more. In one hand, he sees is malignant red, and the other gold. And a voice. Is it in his head or beside it? All he knows is that he has become the two-faced god, that he is not alone. As they say, time's other face is spite.
Oh shit.
You are at the beginning of non-intelligent life on this planet. There is no other entity but you worth writing home about. You figure that you've got, a millennia before anything starts to walk. What you gonna do?
It's an excellent question. So, you mentioned that city the God Hunter was in like a big cavern.
It was in a big, big cavern.
I want to find that cavern.
Okay. Yeah, given that the distance and time, that cavern could be... I mean, the continents had changed. But you can try.
That's a fair point.
You can make an effort, though. You can make an effort to be where that cavern will be, if you see what I'm saying.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. Roll me a survival roll.
Survival? Oh boy. Am I any good at survival? I don't think I am. Almost like I'm a god and don't have to go out very much anymore.
You wander a young Orbis, at first alone, and then with a dull laughter in your head. Oh, Venher, to think at the end it will just be you and me back at the beginning. But think of all the chances we have now to do it right. To spite the rest of them. You wander and you find your way to a volcano which grows less active. You are a god and have the means to descend its shafts, find the safe side passages, move through the cracks in the earth. You are in a deep and dark place. There is barely any clearance here. It is far from the massive cavern which will house a final city of civilization millennia in the future. Kronos asks, "What are we doing here? So far from the surface. A hidden fortress, perhaps?"
This will be the one-day home of the God Hunter.
Oh?
Wouldn't it be convenient if she never got that far?
Kronos just laughs. And we take a quick 10-minute break.
Okay. This
All right.
is exciting.
All right. So
Sorry
this is a quick
for,
intermission.
My slow start.
That's all good.
And the phone call. That was my girlfriend.
Okay, well, hi,
I
man.
had to tell her to shut up. I'm playing D&D.
All right, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
So
I'm setting the stream to intermission, so they won't be able to hear you. But you guys can
I
say anything you
resent
want.
that picture of the panel.
All right, all right.
We are streaming or aren't? Okay. Cool. I'm gonna run and get some food. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Yes, I'll do stuff around as well. Oh, we can be heard. I can hear us. Hello, people. You can hear us, but you can't see us.
Yes. Okay. like how this is going. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah, this is super twisty and turny. I love everything that's going on. PT Dub.
I mean,
honestly, yeah.
Space 1889 will always hold a special and magical place in my heart.
I'm totally enjoying this.
This is definitely a lot tighter. There's no denying that. But I think establishing a frame in terms of like how many sessions we're gonna do at the outset makes things tighter. Just kind of, yeah. And unless I'm terribly mistaken, at least nothing you've done with me before has had been like this will be 4 3 sessions sort of deal. We've done 1 shots and occasionally we've branched them off into 2 shots, but so the question is this just one of the best things you've ever done, or is this just an average of this format you've never really experimented with before? Yeah. I will warn you, my scheduling is bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, Thursdays I can stick with. For the immediate future, Thursdays very rarely is that an issue. But I have like 5 days a week now with a standing commitment on an evening. So it's getting to the point of unsustainability. I'm down to just get started. I mean, I want to implant deep-seated geological instabilities in this cavern.
Nice. Is it okay if I continue eating?
I mean,
It's okra and eggplant curry. It's really good.
that just doesn't sound good.
I'm a vegetarian.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of okra or eggplant or curry. We had 10 there for a minute.
All right, let's go into it.
Back in. All right. JK, we rolling now. All right. So, we back. We've got some art by Pat of the Forces of Spite, and
it's a terrible piece of art, but it works.
All right. So, Ben-Hur, you managed to find your way into this like volcanic chasm. And, you think you have no idea how long it's taking you, but Kronos chimes in like, I think it's been about a decade. And she's like, so.
Thanks, Alexa.
Are we going to stay here the whole time?
No. I want to see if I can figure out a way to, like, compromise the rock so that in the time scale which we're looking at here, this place will collapse.
You want it to so you want...
I want to, like, chip a rock so that in, like, 10,000 years, this place falls apart.
Do you want that collapse to happen? When do you want that collapse to happen?
I want it to happen, like, when the God Hunter is born.
Okay. Roll nature.
All right, nature, also one I'm not that great at. Actually, it's literally one of my worst skills.
All right. You think that if you blew up part of this chamber, it would probably be fucked up later, right?
Yeah, probably, but that's a bit vague in terms of characteristic timescales.
Geology was never a godly interest of yours.
It wasn't. Rocks, there's not much to spite there, is there?
Rocks how you die.
I'll just say we'll have to keep an eye on this place. We'll come back here later.
Alright, you, by the way, you know a rune which would allow you to teleport back to this place if you took the time to carve it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Forgot about runes completely.
Alright, as you do this, she muses, this won't be invented for another 5,000 years.
Invented or discovered?
Touche. So do you return to the service world?
Yes. And this carving of the room has inspired me. I feel inspired.
Mm-hmm.
I want to carve the symbol of spite
Where?
into various rock outcroppings as I travel.
Okay. Down here or on the surface?
On the surface. And not like everywhere, just, occasionally throw one somewhere.
Alright. As you wander and carve, you come upon a ridge one day and you get a flashback. You remember seeing something very like this as a younger man. And you realize you have just left the mark of spite on a rock by an oasis where you, in a few thousand years, will have your first kiss.
Aww.
So cute.
In fact, don't you remember something faded on the rock face? Indistinguishable by sandblasting, but still unnatural? What a curious memory.
Let's do the time warp again.
Alright.
Timey-wimey stuff is happening.
So basically, centuries pass. You wander around, and intelligent life, such that it is, begins to arise. You witness, like the moon above is now totally dead and devoid of any greenness. It appears like it always did to you. You encounter, first, at a distance, not revealing yourself, you see elves. And in the rock, dwarves. And in the swamps, slizzards.
Interesting.
Yes, intelligent. They're kind of like the Neanderthal version of what you'll encounter later. But, things are starting to get going. You see a smoke signal and deduce someone has invented fire.
Well done. Good job, guys.
You believe you're on the continent that your tribe will be born into, given that you came upon that ridge earlier. And by earlier, I mean 10 years ago. What are you thinking?
I feel,
Ooh.
Do I know which one of the gods was first to be born? Or first to be ascended?
Yes, you do. Because I have that... we know what order they got killed in. But let me just... Actually, I think it was reverse order. Come on, fucking... Yeah, I will say that there's some dispute about that, however, you know that Kronos was one of the first. And that you were, the last.
Well, we're me and Kronos are like this now, so...
I mean, you're in the same body now, too.
I mean, that's how you do it.
Ooh, woo.
Alright, yeah, I think I'll just continue to wander the world. I don't see any actions I should take this far out.
Alright, centuries pass. And then thousands of years. And then one day, you feel something shudder inside of you. It's delicious. It's a rush of the forbidden Kool-Aid, but like it was the very first time, it's weaker, it's not as poignant, but it's totally free of ennui. This is that total and pure spite you first felt when you stole a power of your own making from the woad.
Ah, apotheosis.
That's a great word. I love that word.
Thank you. I made it myself.
That's like not sure about that one, fam.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Fucking check. Like, I'm gonna go back in time and change all the books to say Max did it. Max did apotheosis. That's what I start doing. I'm gonna find all the books in the world, Lee, and I'm gonna change it to say Ben-Hur invented the word apotheosis.
There are not really any books right now. It's more like wandering dune tribes. Like
Okay, I'm gonna wander up to all the dune tribes and be like, note this in your oral history, motherfucker.
All right, so you come upon a group of what appear to be humans near the coast, scavenging what they can, like shellfish and like doing some basic spear fishing. What do you do you reveal yourselves to them?
Yes.
Okay. You have like fine clothes and a metal mask and a whole bunch of other things they've never seen before. As they look upon you, they are aghast, and in a tongue not too far from your own original one that you can't make out what they're saying. They say, "What is this spirit? Why does it wear a metal mask? Who are you? Why did you come before us?"
I just say spite, and then I want to create some maligna before me. Just let it fall to the ground and then leave.
It feels like a small pool and burns a hole in some rock. And they look in front of it and they're like, "Huh?" And one of them pokes their fishing spear into it and it turns weird. He looks at the tip of it. And then he looks over at a boar and he yeets it. And he strikes it dead on the spot. And he looks at the rest of them very excited and he says, "Spite!" And, yeah.
Oh, God.
You cannot help but feel that you have set in motion certain events.
That was the goal.
Yeah, so it's a century later, and you are feeling the actions of gods upon the world. They are beginning to carve out their domains. The world, Gaia's love is spreading, and green life fills this world. Much blood is shed in the wars that happen. And you feel in your own domain that someone has erected a pyramid and is beginning to lay the groundwork for their realm to spite that bastard Volvorian.
I mean, what can I say? Volvorian is a bit of a dipshit.
Oof.
It's a bit of a dick.
Indeed. So centuries pass, then thousands of years. What do you do between now and the time that the God Hunter starts killing?
Well, I mean, something I want to do before the God Hunter starts killing. Kill the God Hunter.
So about time. The God Hunter won't be born until long after she does her killing.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh shit, you're right. I need to stop the circumstances of her, not her birth necessarily, but the way in which the circumstances of the world influence.
As this occurs to Ben-Hur, it also occurs to Kronos. And the other side of your head, as you've come to think of her, says, "If I never make the bookmarks, she can never attack backwards through time. But we'll have to tread carefully. I'm not sure what would happen if I revealed myself to myself. It would be an essential proof of my theory. It would put me ahead and behind, and I could alter the time stream in an unforeseen fashion with such a revelation.
Could you hide yourself from yourself inside me?
We don't look like either of ourselves to ourselves, if we appeared right now, but they might sense something within us. And as you look within yourself, you do notice something strange about your power. It's not like it used to be. You sense that spite out in the world that a young Venher is throwing around willy-nilly all free from ennui, but you hear the whirring of gears and the clicking of clocks as you reach to your powers. And you realize that perhaps yours and Kronos' power is no longer differentiated at all. And she says, I think we're something else altogether.
How did you discover the bookmarks?
She says, after the woad fulminated into an never-ending burn at the clock tower experiment, I realized that going after the heart seed directly was a fool's errand. The point was, you have to... She then spends the next 10 years describing time and time theory to you. A decade later, Venner is like, damn, yeah, I know all this shit now. So you now know time theory. Congratulations. You know exactly how she came upon the revelation, what events and calamities had to happen, where in her career Kronos should make it. You know that she's about 200 years out from the first piece of the puzzle that she will eventually use to put together her project.
What if I took away the first piece?
Kronos is like, well, what if I find it somewhere else? I mean, it was more of a revelation from observing the natural world. It's not like time is something you can hide from me.
True, and I don't even want to get into the timeline ramifications of killing you.
Yes, no, I think we should both stay very much alive. In case you haven't noticed, when our powers seem a little different from everyone else around us. And as you say that, it's true, and you almost feel like some part of you is still back there in that throne room as a color out of time rips itself into existence.
Spoop.
Indeed, don't you feel a lingering? A certain crystalline presence. Was that plant always that color? Did that color really exist before? What's going on here on Gaia's green orbis? Something is amiss. It feels like the barriers between worlds that only lightened after your contemporaries died are already wearing thin.
That's bad.
Yeah, that is bad.
Distinctly not good. However, if I recall,
Yeah.
one of the fundamental laws written in the moon was the law of barriers between worlds, amongst other things, right?
Yeah. You remember that as the graven truth.
The graven truth.
You look up to the moon, and you see craters on it, markings, and the hole, and you can't help but wonder, didn't it used to be shaped a little bit differently?
I think I need to go to the moon.
Alright. Meanwhile, in the throne room, you guys are fighting your way, up here, and Joyfried has just come up behind these Void Thorn.
Fighting your way downtown, moving fast, with faces passing on my...
German Steel thinks you're going to go Terminator on her.
Fuck yeah. Go Terminator on this bitch. Hey yo.
Mm-hmm. So, Joyfried, what's your action going to be?
Alright, so while our god is being Terminator in another timeline, I'm going to go ahead and try to be Terminator in this one. If it is genuinely my turn and not, the immediate aftermath of my turn, which is what I thought it was.
Yeah, no, it's your turn. You can attack and such.
Sweet, cool. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and attack then. Let's do this shit.
You remember spending your action dashing, but then you're already there, 30 feet ahead, or 30 feet behind. Which was it again?
That's really convenient. I like that. You should cast this spell more often, my dude. My god.
I should have done it earlier, really. I don't think I can do it more often. Like, if you think about it, it has been done. And it always will be done. It always will have been done.
But Max, what happens when you multiply a negative by a negative?
You get a positive.
God.
Oh, so I have an undo button.
Do you?
Or maybe I don't. Maybe I have an undon't button.
Ah.
Okay,
Maybe it's a doo-doo button.
Venher, millions of years before this happens, Venher contemplates the nature of time and its passage and what happens when you fuck with it. Alright.
Okay.
Give me that damage.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna declare vendetta against the Void Torn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that first one doesn't hit. That second one looks like it might.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Your clockwork blade slices through her, surely.
Ooh, is it clockwork now?
It has always been clockwork.
Oh, okay.
Just like Kroz's mechanical arm.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
that makes sense.
Wait, what?
Kroz's mechanical arm that he got when he joined the service of Venhos, as has always been the case.
That explains. Yep, that makes sense. So, with my amazing mechanical clockwork greatsword, I'm going to slash and deal some timely vendetta damage. Beautiful. So I deal that 20 plus the. That takes into account the roll 20 or the 20, right?
Yeah. So the 20, you've done the 20 damage.
Okay, wonderful. 20 plus the 6 and 5, so 31 damage total.
Bang! She looks bloodied. It is Venher's turn, which means that the forces of spite overcome the scared ass forces of not spite, and rush up to his side.
They're afraid of me, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. They rush past the portal, and some of them actually pop out of it as it still bounces between spiteful events.
Fuck it.
Yes. They get some attacks, so they get some not attacks of opportunity, but they get some flanking attacks. Some people get fucked on. It is Kroz's turn. Kroz, you stand there with your your mechanical arm and your little steampunk ass goggles on, and you are prepared to serve your god.
Yep, right there. Can I move this? Can't seem to move my purple drawing.
I can though.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so
and you get if you're attacking, you get advantage because you're flanking.
Yeah, I'm attacking the far weirder. So I'm gonna hit him with the spiteful weapon first. Does that hit? Oh, that's 27.
Fast focus. Seems to gain 1 strain. Or rather, the strain seems to go down. All right, so that's a hit. Give me the damage. All right.
And then Warhammer time.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Warhammer time, also known as.
Just purge. So you deal some
I don't have a
damage.
joke there.
It's now. So that's your turn, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's Croz's. It's not Croz's turn. It's the Far Weirder's turn. The Far Weirder, seeing himself surrounded, is going to try dropping a psychic hammer behind him, including the space that Croz is in. So if you want to,
won't you be a psychic hammer?
So make a strength save.
20.
Why can I not rotate this person to the side? Whatever.
You're not singing the correct song.
All right, so you pass it, and you take half damage. So we'll call it. Yeah, and the Far Weirder then goes on to try and attack Venher himself.
Well,
She's going to use a masterful shunt. The lawyer body blocks and manages to stand firm, but he's pushed right up against the seat of your god's crystalline throne. Yeah, the timepiece hanging above it ticks. It is 10 minutes to midnight.
Oh.
It is
that's portentous.
It is now the Void Torn fight. These guys fight. Everybody's fighting. Man, that green stuff really coming up at you, yo. And it is now Joyfried's turn.
Okay. So, Joyfried, well, alright. Is there any way I can ascertain whether the Void Torn is kind of feeling pretty ill at the moment? Like,
She's blooded. She's like half health.
okay. Alright. That's fair. So, she's going, Joyfried's going to draw her, her faithful sword, which, of course, has always been named the Spanner in the Works. And
course.
she's going to slice into this Void Torn with the Spanner in the Works and really try and kill this person as much as she can, because she really, really, really hates this person in particular.
All right.
She hates all these
That-
otherworldly
that's
fucktards,
a hit.
actually.
Those are both hits.
She's just not a fan. They both heal vendetta.
17 minus
Both
23.
have
Yeah, you
damage.
fucking drop her and you heal for 23.
Hell yeah. And everybody got to roll to be afraid again.
All right. As they witness this terrible butchery, they roll to avoid being frightened. And the Far Weirder is also going to make a whiz. And yeah, so there's fear going around. And the Far Weirder seems very desperate now. The staff in his hand glows and crackles and looks like the crystal's about to explode. Meanwhile, it's Venher's turn. The forces of spite overtake the guys from the void and they begin hacking away at the plants. It's at least holding in a stasis for now. The malignants, the banelings, fight alongside the timekeepers to keep everything under check. The timekeepers cast haste and use their metal limbs to keep your boys in the fight, and the forces of spite continue to stab. It is Kroz's turn. Kroz.
I guess same shit. 'Cause try to kill this boy. And where is it?
All right. So 26, a 7. All right. The far weirder. It's their turn. They stab the floor, and their voice box emits a terrible sound that gives everyone disadvantage on this upcoming save. And everybody is going to have to roll Constitution as their ears ring.
That is not a good thing, especially considering we have disadvantage.
Some timekeepers shatter. Some of these boys fall over with their ears bleeding.
Do you hear the people ring?
The portal contracts down to a tiny space as the rent seems to be fading, and then moves towards the far weirder's staff as it cackles on the verge of destruction.
This can't be good. I should have tried attacking that person instead.
So yeah, the far weirder is all right. So the con save on Cross disadvantage is just a 5. So yeah, you guys are both gonna take 2d10 plus 10, so 17 damage on both of you.
Okay.
17 and 17.
You raised my health too when I killed
I healed you up 23. So yeah, it is now Joyfried's turn.
Okay. So I decide to declare a new target of my vendetta. So I've used vendetta a total of 4 times today. Well, oh wait, actually, since we were rehealed to full vendetta, when was that? I think I might have only used it twice in that case. All right. Either way, they're within my range. I'm gonna fuck this person right up. Joyfried the Unrepentant declares her vendetta against the creature from another world, and she goes ahead and swings her mighty sword, the spanner in the works. And are those both hits?
Yep.
All right.
All right. You just slicing him apart. He appears bloodied.
First one's a critical because this was my first one against that person. So let me do one more.
2d6, yeah.
Boop. Boom.
Extra 6 damage. It is Venher's turn, and at an earlier space in time, civilizations rise and fall, and mostly the
What you're
realms
saying
of the
is
gods
oceans
control.
rise, empires fall.
Yes, absolutely, because
Empires
the god of storms literally raises the oceans, and various empires fall. The gods bicker. Do you intercede?
Yes.
You notice something strange. So wait, so do you return to your realm?
Well, I wanted to go to the moon first.
You go to the moon. You ascend. And you find something waiting for you there.
And it is.
Something I need to, like, ready up a little bit. And, yeah. You, return to the moon and find it, a little bit messier than you remember it was when you first arrived. The inside is etched with now dead, streaks, and the heart seed is there. Small, insignificant, so easily forgotten. But you can't help but notice it's been bleeding. And its blood pools in the carvings of the graven truth. Its green ichors fill the law of barriers, the truth of barriers.
Can I get like a squeegee?
Kronos is like, we should not approach it. It is anathema to us.
Well, there goes that plan.
She says, well, perhaps we could, I don't know, punt it?
Punt it.
Well, if we went over here and gave it a little push with magic, maybe it would fall down the hole.
It's unsophisticated, but worth a shot.
Alright, so you want to just like use some spell that like pushes it with force?
Yeah, I don't, do I have any force pushy spells?
Kronos does.
Okay,
And
Kronos.
so you do.
Kronos, I choose you. Use force push.
You raise a hand and you feel, words escape your lips that are not your own, and it goes bloop and it rebounds and it is down towards the planet below.
You know, that I think about it, that might have also been a terrible idea.
She's like, well, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Quite. I'm sure there'll be no repercussions for our rash actions.
Meanwhile, in the throne room, you guys are fighting as the newly invigorated surge of plant life overcomes the forces to your south. You don't know how much longer you have to fight these extra dimensional invaders, but you have to turn your attention towards that. It is Kroz's turn.
Wait, what do you mean newly invigorated plant forces? Weren't the plant forces always the more vigorous of the two sides?
Yes, but they're feeling even more vigorous now. They were being held at bay by the forces of spite earlier. Now the forces of spite are getting pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you definitely got the right song.
Does that hit the far weirder?
No. Not unless you have advantage, but that's a ranged attack.
No,
so
it's range touch. Or range, yeah, range attack. Oh well.
Ranged touch.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Yeah. So then, just this one. God damn it.
Alright, you managed to deal some damage. The emanation around the crystal on its staff is growing more powerful, and you see the crystal become excited and begin to grow. It looks like he's going to try something. The far
That's
weirder uses his shunt, and he's activated his mask, so people have disadvantage to resisting him. His masterful shunt, a superior ort, and the lawyer is knocked aside, and the far weirder advances, and he tries to slam the tip of his staff into the crystal throne right at the base of Venho's seat. And yeah, so Joyfree, do you want to do anything about that? Would maybe a reaction?
Yeah, I would definitely like to react. What are my options?
Do you want to cut him, or do you want to cut the staff?
I want to cut the staff.
All right, give me that attack.
Taking my blade, the spanner in the works, which seems to have been named just for this exact purpose, to spite this attack. She swings at his staff.
With that, you lop off the top of the staff, and as it happens, something spindly and red in the middle of the staff cracks, and with it, the far weirder gives out a terrible shriek, and the tip goes end over end over end, and the tip of the crystal is about to touch the throne. Meanwhile, thousands of years before this happens, Venhos, as you have come to be known, or rather, as you've come to be, you
As
find,
I've always been known.
as you've always been, you find yourself on a lush world, and rife with Gaia's beauty, and you're thinking that some people are probably going to start dying soon.
Probably. Was I not able to get to the grieve in truth and raise the barrier strength?
So you were there in the moon. So while you were there, do you want to raise the barrier strength?
And it did a second thing. What was the second thing it did again?
So,
because each one of them did like 2 primary things.
let me just check my session for making a mark. The truth of divergence, the truth of gravity, the truth of soul, the truth of worlds. Barrier density. Decreasing makes it easier to pass to other realms. Increasing makes it harder to pass to other realms.
That's it? Okay, I'm jacking that bad boy up.
Yeah. All right. You carve upon the moon. You alter the graven truth ever so slightly, and the green ichor seems to spread out a little bit more and lay lower in it, but you can't touch that directly. It is anathema to you. Now, you feel that it is soon time for, so the first god to die was Kronos, right?
Yes.
That's going to happen within the next few hundred years. What are you going to do about that?
The sword was forged out of
The
all
liquid,
the gods.
the liquid essence of every god.
Liquid essence of every god. And it's going... Well, the God Hunter is going backwards through time. So technically, to the God Hunter, Kronos is the last one killed.
Yeah, in a sense, yes.
Well, both of those are interesting facts. I'm not sure either of them help me.
Yeah.
That being said, I think it's beneficial to both of us, or both of me, to intervene.
Mm-hmm. You know that if she never makes the bookmarks, it can never happen. She doesn't make the bookmark until she flees.
So, if I let her die, then I don't exist.
Well, if she never jumps forward through time, the bookmarks never exist, if we're being technical.
But if she doesn't jump through time, we don't exist.
Perhaps. Your knowledge of time theory is that time abhors a vacuum, and that no matter what you do, some explanation for your reality will be forced upon the prime material.
So I need to keep her from jumping through time, creating the bookmarks. So, I'm going to try to rendezvous with Kronos. And when I say rendezvous, I mean be there for when she is attacked.
Okay, she's attacked in the Dreamwell. And you happen to notice that you haven't been having to return to the Dreamwell to sustain your immortality this whole time.
Can I?
Yes, you can travel there freely.
Alright, well... Is the Dreamwell tied to locations in the material plane, or could I just, Dreamwell it up right here and meet up with her there?
No, you could waltz right into the Dreamwell.
Oh, well, shit, that's gonna make this pretty easy.
Alright, so you're gonna wait in the Dreamwell for the time when the God Hunter is going to arrive and stab her?
Yes.
Alright, how do you do anything to prepare?
Yes.
All
You
right.
can ask what, but I won't give you an answer quite yet.
Alright, so what does Venhos do? And also, as, you get the feeling that the gods have started to notice something amiss. Or rather, they feel a divinity other than their own. Particularly as you travel to the Dreamwell.
Well, the gods can shove it up their own butthole. Never been a fan of any of them.
The first to shove it up their butthole is Telos, god of knowledge. You feel his eyes prying over the horizon in the Dreamwell, spying upon you.
All right. Do spells work in the dream world?
Yes, although not always as they would upon the prime material.
All right. I mean, I don't really have any prep to do that. I think about it. I mean, the plan is more or less right as the blow is about to be struck and Kronos is about to send herself back in time, creating the bookmarks and causing all this nonsense. She's gonna get right on top of her with an anti-magic field.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. So you are going to come up. So to clarify, the anti-magic field cuts
An anti-magic
off...
field. I'll show you the spell card.
Yeah, it cuts.
Jesus.
It cuts
Yeah,
off in this world. It cuts off the access to the weave and the woad.
Divorce from magical energies that suffuses the multiverse. Within the sphere, spells can't be cast, summoned creatures disappear, and even magic items become mundane.
Important note here.
Mhm.
What it would do there is, like, if an item was enchanted, it would stop having enchantment. Because your liquid essences were physically on the prime material, those don't get sent away. They retain their qualities.
Well, I'm not trying to do anything about the blade here.
Okay. All right. As
What
long
this
as it's
is
established.
hoping to do is to keep Kronos
Oh shit.
from sending herself back in time,
Right.
creating the bookmarks.
All right. Kronos is like, ho ho ho! If I never send my power forward in time, we don't happen. What do you think we should do about the fact that I'm about to die?
From the century of you explaining time theory to me, I have understood one thing. Time abhors a vacuum. We do exist, therefore we must exist.
But why do I have to die? I really think I think that we should find another way around this.
Well, do you think you could talk yourself out of this? Do you think we can stop the God Hunter?
Yes, all we have to do is explain to me that what she's doing is a risk. That she is not prepared to properly address until she fully understands it. She'd be introducing herself to a new vector of danger.
If we talk you out of the notion of even potentially going back in time as a method of getting out of danger, then the God Hunter never gets created in the first place, and therefore removes the need for you ever to have gone back in time to get out of danger.
Yes, so we just explain that to me. It'll be fine, I'm sure. I won't mind. I think it was fascinating.
I'll give you. We'll give this a shot. We still have a few years before the God Hunter should arrive
you
properly.
approach like a meditating, very zen Kronos in the Dreamwell, levitating there, legs crossed. She looks over and she sees you, and she's like, "Have we met?" And unbidden from your lips comes, "In another time." And here you are in a conversation between Kronos and herself, and she does most of the driving here. But at several key points, the silver-tongued devil is necessary to convince this prior past Kronos. Can you give me some persuasion, or perhaps some deception, whichever you're feeling?
Let's do persuasion because I'm equally good at it, and I'm not. I don't really. I feel like this is a time for truth. Spite is many things, but at the end of the day, the person who is most deserving of spite, the person whose spite is focused on now, is the God Hunter. Anyone else who benefits from this, irrelevant. The God Hunter must not have existed. That is performance. Whoops. Well, it's the same roll.
Listen.
It's a roll with a quick song and dance routine. You've explained to her that she would get herself rightly fucked if she attempted to use this jump forward in time bookmark method. And she says, "That's amazing, but wait a minute. To know this, you would have to be from the future. That means I had to discover how to go back into the past. Does that mean you're me?" Kronos isn't sure how to respond.
Basically, that performance check is just Kronos doing the time warp.
It's astounding.
It's just a to the left.
The jump to the left, and then a step to the right.
So hips.
Put your hands on your hips.
I can't really do my hips in frame.
So
Pelvic thrust.
Okay. Yeah. In response to what Kronos actually said, individual Kronos, not me, Kronos. There is danger in answers.
he said, certainly. But if the bookmarks won't work, and I can already jump forward through time without a problem, and she seems to think about something, and a very dangerous gear is whirring behind her eyes, and she's like, oh, then all we have to do is, and then she performs a miracle. And if you heard a gear grinding before, one is just snapped, ripped entirely off the engine, and flown far off into the distance, as this Kronos attempts to jump forward in time. Not to create a bookmark to travel backwards to, but to get to the point that you had to have come from to do this. And now, Venhos awakens on their throne. The energy merging, and all of their minions blessed with, as they have always been since joining their service, haste, perma-haste.
Of course, we've always had that.
Yeah.
And all of their enemies slowed with an aura around them. And the barrier weakening, a single crystal touches the throne, and the whole world around them turns a single color.
Shit.
And 1,000,000,000 voices cry out around you. Should have taken the deal, should have taken the deal, should have taken the deal, should have taken the deal. And you find yourself, your throne expands and folds out to 1,000,000,000 little pieces, but you don't need that thing anymore. You haven't forever, really. It's more of a conversation piece than anything. And as you arise in your clockwork pyramid, with your timekeepers and your forces of spite around you, and your faithful servants, you prepare to do battle. You see on the horizon 1,000,000 teeming creatures descending upon the final point, the final beacon that allows them into this world. A battlefield full of foes.
A battlefield full of foes. Well, there's only one thing to do.
A windmill full of corpses.
Oh yeah, baby! The heavens open up. This unterrestrial field bathed in the radiant light of spiteful time. And through sundials within sundials come raining down red glowing swords with golden hilts, striking all of those not explicitly sheltered from miracles effects through the heart or its nearest equivalent. Some of them have like 3 hearts, some of them have a weird central organ, but they're all impaled. Spiteful energy overloads their very souls, and each of them is clocked forward and back in time as it all crescendos up to a perfectly timed burst where they explode into a gory pulp. And let's just see if this guy is going to take the... So basically, all of these like forces of the assorted like nether dimension just start to pop like blood pinatas all around you. All time to go off together. And we're going to create a charisma save on this bitch.
Far weird is passing by me. I'm going to use a...
Oh yeah, you want to just stab him? Yeah, give me that. Give me that.
Oh hell yeah!
As
Oh, hell yeah.
as the far weirder tries to run, you just hack his calf and he falls, and the sword embeds itself in the back of his heart.
One
They don't-
cannot run from judgment.
Yeah.
And that vendetta damage too, I imagine. Boom.
All of their foes dead, Venhos stands, two faithful companions by their side, two-faced gods, and sees at the top of their pyramid what seems to be an endless expanse of a color unseen. This is no world, but a world between worlds, a place between places, a time between times. And you are a god far beyond this place and time. As the two-faced god looks out upon an endless expanse they never thought possible. The clock strikes midnight. And boom! That's it.
Wait, what?
I feel like I should applaud.
So yeah, that's where we call it. The God Hunter never reaches you because the God Hunter is never born because blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm sure there's a better way to explain that in me, but it didn't come out. But yeah,
God Hunter never reaches me because there never was a God Hunter.
Yeah, basically because you change things so hard that more or less a different timeline plays out. What the other gods are doing now that the God Hunter didn't kill them is also an interesting question, but the two-faced god is kind of a little beyond that now that they stand at the precipice of worlds. And I think with that, we're going to go to feedback, and we're going to do this counterclockwork starting with Boltrop.
Man, I feel like I always start.
I was about to say, man,
We-
obviously
we-
our cameras are in
we-
different arrangements.
We can start with Max.
I want to start by saying that
Max,
whole final bit with me having this journey through time, throughout space, and throughout history, and throughout, like, with the melding of minds, while simultaneously there's this dramatic battle happening over my body, sitting on this throne unconscious, with, like, people piling over each other and clawing, my minions falling, trying to defend my body, that they don't know what's going on, but I'm out there and I don't know what's going on. Like, that's some imagery. That's some high quality stuff. That's something I could see in a movie, and it would be a bit I like in the movie, as opposed to one of those bits where I'm like, oh god, get on with it.
Yeah, there are two distinct images I have from this campaign. One is like Danielle just like windmill slamming the mask, and the other is like them like Kraz and Joyfried battling in front of the throne as like the energy goes up from Venos' mouth.
I'm imagining it like there was like 8 or 10 enemies on the map. I'm imagining like literal hordes of people, and they're just like on top of a mountain of corpses.
Oh
and,
hell
like,
yeah!
just-
I gotta. Yeah. Go.
Everything around them is ruin and devastation, and there's the portal to the other dimension like rippling and like bathing in an unholy light, and the green stuff is like crawling and rending its way through the bodies, and they're just standing there, like the two of them and the lawyer demon, and just barely holding on, and I'm just sitting there barfing up red energy.
Yeah, that needs to go on the t-shirt, basically.
Oh my god, like I have a mental image that's like so sexy for that, and
All right.
like I can't even imagine any representation living up to like the mental picture you painted for me, but
Awesome.
one can dream.
I'm glad. So now to take us down, what was your least favorite part about this session?
I'm gonna be honest, I loved the whole thing.
All right.
Maybe
It just has to be the worst of the best.
the worst of the best. There was points at which I felt somewhat like, okay, what do? But I was able to figure out something to do. So they worked out.
At points.
But then again, I was a god going on like a mind journey through time, so I felt like that was appropriate.
Yeah, that's valid.
I guess the only criticism I would give is you effectively did split the party.
That's true.
I mean, technically we were in the same place, but also very different places and times.
Yeah. Can I see what's something that you would like to see more of? Obviously, this campaign is over, but we're gonna roll into Guns Against Gods Care-Gen coming up. So what's something you would to see from Guns Against Gods, which is, of course, the space, eldritch, wild time, where your ship is Death and Taxes, the good ship Death, and then the demon Taxes, whose spindles are your ramming spine weapon. Like, what's something what would you like to see based on this in that?
I mean, I always kind of like time shenanigans, just because they're really fun to actually try to describe. With our temporally challenged language. I'm not sure I want to like emphasize that be a big thing in the next campaign. I just personally enjoy that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, I really like the high drama of this last session.
Definitely.
I love that sort of like. I mean, I love all sorts of different types of sessions and all sorts of different types of campaigns. But when something properly gets to like, the stakes are really big. This is like classical, you know, big deal stakes sort of thing, and that always like, and like this is it. This is the end. The world hinges upon this moment. That's always very like, that gets me. I like that, but I also understand that not everything can be that, or it loses its luster.
Yeah, so basically appropriate amounts of high drama. Like don't ham it up, but like keep. You like that this was high impact.
High impact. I mean, there's actually a story or two I can think of where like there's this book series. I don't want to name drop it, but
Stormlight Archives.
Not the Stormlight Archives. Same author. It's Mistborn. The first 3 books of it. Each book feels like the big climax book. And then there's the next book, and you're like, oh no, shit, it's the next one. And he pulls it off each book because he's a fucking genius.
Wheel of Time kind of does that too.
I mean, he wrote the second half of Wheel of Time, I think.
Oh shit, was that Brandon?
Because no, the guy, I think it's Wheel of Time. I think the first half was one guy, then he died, then Brandon Sanderson did the second half.
Yeah, something else finish it. Yeah, so that's what you want to see more of.
Yeah.
We can of course talk about this more later, but this is immediate thoughts. Pat, favorite part.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is gonna be like really such a non-issue after like that pretty decent, succinct explanation of how awesome this session was that Max just gave us. But I think my favorite part was probably the fact that shit was just changing for us in the media res. Because of the shit that Max was doing over his like spiritual journey.
We've always had a clockwork sword.
I loved that. I don't even know why, but I loved being on the receiving end of that, and I changed the name of my sword in the in a snap.
We've got to make a spanner in the works magic item that's fucking going on the DMs. You know, we're gonna make like a spite package for the DMs Guild, and that's fucking spanner in the works is going in that.
Originally, it was the bastard child, but
we should have both. We should have both.
The spanner in the works.
Yeah. So
I love that shit.
Excellent. So, what was your least favorite part?
I mean, so my least favorite part was that the ending kind of came up out of nowhere. It felt like, sort of, almost. It wasn't one of those, ha, you killed the final boss and now it's over. Loot the bodies sort of thing. It was like this whole thing, you did this thing, this person did this thing, and also it's over now. Sort of. I mean,
it didn't give you that nice tight closure of putting someone to zero.
Yeah, I mean, it's a picayune detail, though. It's not like, it's not like this is like a major gripe.
Yeah, but there's certainly a way that this could have played out where that did happen. So
a major blight.
All right, so
also, I'm not entirely if I were to add a second thing that I'm not sure I entirely. I mean, that I liked, but I'm not. It's the bottom level of my likeness. Sorry, I'm not articulating myself very clearly, but I also don't know what happened and where we are now. Are we in the far realms, or like?
You stand. The two-faced god and companions now stand at the precipice of unlimited potentiality.
Oh, that's a lot better than I thought. was going on. I'm good with this.
Yeah,
That
so,
works.
yeah. So, what would you see more of?
Honestly, this whole crew is pretty dope. I'm seriously, you know, enjoying the vibe here. So more adventures with these fun people and with your amazing writing skills. Like, come on, you've got some serious intelligence and story writing ability.
You warm the cockles of my heart.
I'm enjoying it all. And
I just want to say, I think technically Venhos is now a god beyond and between worlds. So I'm not saying there is a possibility of a cameo.
I'm not saying that was part of my entire purpose, but yeah, I mean...
But I am saying I can see it happening.
Let's just say there's going to be a very particular item in, I think, literally every Diesel Shot game after this that I think you will enjoy. But yeah,
nice. There was more though.
More.
So
Give me more.
All of you guys. One thing I loved and/or want to. Oh! Sorry. Can I go back like all the way to the very beginning and say something that I really liked in addition to the that shit was changing media res?
Lay it on me.
Or at least I think I really liked, and I'm not sure I understood this entirely correctly, but was the God Hunter kind of me?
The God Hunter was your descendant.
That makes sense. Okay, I loved that.
Yeah, that's like I didn't describe it when I was planning to describe it, because I fudged some things and pushed Max forward when he cast the spell and went whatever. The point is, yeah. So allusion to God Hunter, Joy Freed connection.
So that could be more of, you know, illusions that tie in the characters, sort of things. Because, like, I mean, if it was Kroz's child, I'm sure I would have found that equally entertaining. But you know, the ego trip is always nice.
The payoff and it's not there for Kroz the way it is for Joyfried, given their like stories and stuff. And like honestly, like when we need to get. But yeah, so is that your? Can we move to Austin?
Yeah.
Austin, favorite, least favorite. Let's see more of.
Favorite, obviously, timey-wimey stuff is always fun. There was the bit that, like, you know, played out. It basically plays out like a movie, like a really, really good cinematic. Just the whole timey-wimey stuff. Trying to think. Combat went smooth this time. I think we all knew what we were doing, so that was nice.
Right as we end the series, you guys.
Yeah, right as we end the series, we're finally used to combat.
I finally think I got to know my spell book by the time this series goes around.
Same.
Is there a way to like show the audience, anyone who's still watching, my spell book real quick? Because like, there's a lot of fucking spells on there.
So
none of them are vanilla.
Here's Venhir's character sheet. Here's his like. Well, I gave you 18. Oh yeah, his charisma is a 22. He's proficient in. I literally said, give me 3 skills you're not proficient in, and then like multiples that you have expertise in. He had a bunch of bullshit down here, but here's just his spells. Here's just his and here's his miracles. And let me drag this like as wide as I can to get as much.
I hope that'll go somewhat to explaining why every single time I had a turn, I was like, oh shit, what spell should I cast?
Yeah, yeah. So he had a lot of options. But yeah, so we were Austin. So that was what was your least favorite part?
I don't think I really had one for this session. Everything was pretty decent. I guess I'm trying to think really. I don't have anything there.
Is there anything you'd like to see more of?
More? Like in the future, as always, the writing, you know, it's pretty good, and that just helps get in, you know. So
immersive,
very immersive, and that just helps retain both viewers and us. And if we're not there, then definitely the viewers aren't going to be there.
Yeah, I feel you. Really quick question. So, like, to lift the veil a little bit here, Austin and I talked, and like, I was like pretty sure he was gonna betray y'all. When like the outer gods came calling, I saw you rolled a d5 and it came up a 3, and you said I stay neutral. Was that like your decision point? Was that how you decided whether or not you were gonna go in? Because you
Literally a toss of the dice.
Is it because
all right? That's all I'm worth to you.
Was that because you legitimately didn't know how Cross would respond?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's fair.
I like how things went, but that could have been really fun.
Yeah, because
also,
the
one thing is, I didn't know how. If I just started beating up Joyfried, I feel like that would have been not fun.
Well, I mean, I think it could have been interesting. The thing is, your betrayal kind of had to happen while he was like out on the throne, because obviously, Judgment of Blades is something he's had the entire series. Judgment of Swords. So,
it would just disappear instantly.
Yeah, you would get popped like a zit, right? Even if you pass the save, 112 damage, which is nothing to sneeze at.
No, especially when I only have 57 at the time.
Yeah, so like it would not have been great for you, but I can.
You only have 57 health.
No, I have 192 max. I just got down to a lot of HP.
I was about to say, because I have a level 4 character who's a warlock and he has 40 health.
Yeah. No. It's just my HP.
Yeah, so that all being said, and Dune, do we feel like going on to gag a character generation to some extent tonight, or would we like to save that for later?
I feel like at least doing a little bit right now wouldn't be bad, at least for me, mostly because that means I would have done a little bit.
Yeah, and do we want to stream this or not? Because it's one half dozen the other for me. I think it might be nice for the viewers to experience it. Of course, I say that not knowing if we even have viewers right now.
We have 7 people watching.
Oh, hello, 7 people.
Which is actually the lowest I've seen it so far, because when I first looked, it was 10. It was 8 for a bit, now it's 7.
I think we hit 12 a couple of times.
Really?
While we were talking about, like goods and not goods, it was it hit 12 again.
Nice.
Theoretically.
Well, but I can't imagine that the people I'm sharing it to actually did end up joining.
I think, I don't know. I know Pilgrim comes in and watch every now and then. That's about like the only person that reliably joins.
Yeah, I saw the Pilgrims earlier in the chat. I saw several Aquarius Age people. Shout out to German Steel and 12-Sided Guy. Great to see you. Great to see everyone in the community. Really appreciate you. And it's all over but the crying. And the crying. So yeah, basically, here's the pitch for the next series, Guns Against Gods, or GAG. And by the way, tune back in Monday night for Crown Breakers episode 1. And that's going to be like a self-contained thing, so it'll be like Crown Breakers, the whatever at the whatever. That'll be over. Characters might follow over, but they'll be self-contained things. So you don't have to be keeping up through the whole thing. It's about hunting angels. But the marquee slot here Thursday night, what we will be having is Guns Against Gods, which is space fantasy. It's going to be space fantasy. People are going to be the bridge crew. And they're going to be like heroes, but they're also going to have that additional role that gives them something extra. And Pat is, of course, going to be the demon who is also like the spine of the ship and uses her like tendrils to like stab into the enemies during boarding actions. So
yeah, this just kind of happened.
So yeah, have I created a? I really miss having the laptop right at my side. Have I created a thing for
Spelljammer, but not copyrighted.
Yeah, basic. Well, you know, I'd say there's some key differences in tone from what Spelljammer does and what we're going to do. But, so, Austin, you want to be a Scion Quazam.
Yep.
So, a custom race and class. I have the race for you. I need to work on finishing the Scion class. Carriage and we're level 14, so carriage and methods, whatever you want. Pat, obviously, we need to do a fuckload of custom stuff for you. And Max, do you have any idea what you would like to look at for that sort of character?
I was looking at Animancer.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounds cool, and also from what I understand, you didn't have a chief engineer role, and I was like, you should have a chief engineer role, and now it is there, so I want to be it.
The Kassam, are they the sand elves?
Yeah, they are the desert elves, the dune elves, with the funky milky eyes.
Doing it to me one more time. As far as race and class, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really free in terms of selection, and also I intend to have like funky stuff like you're gonna have an eldritch, like warlocks will have eldritch blasters that will like they be like a gauntlet that they wear with like weird tubes and vials and glowing lights and shit that'll like augment their eldritch blast. So like you can really go out there with it. Go whatever direction you want.
I'll admit, I'm playing a warlock in another D&D campaign right now, and I really like it.
So you think you want to double dip on the warlock, and you'd already know their spells? And
I do already know their spells. I have pretty solid builds in mind. I love invocations, especially at higher levels. Like my goal in life is to play a 9th level warlock at some point. Get the the invocation, which allows me to cast levitation all the time, and then just never touch the ground again.
Well, you are starting at level 14 for gag, so...
Well.
You want to be the floating animancer who never touches the ground, and that's, like, part of your shtick? Like, that's totally possible right now.
There's a lot of shticky things I've been tempted to do with invocations, because there's several spells you can essentially do for free at will without any sort of cap. And at level 14, I have effectively all of the options. So I might have to go for a warlock just so I can do a whole bunch of shticks at once.
All right, so basically...
For example, one of the things you can do is, I believe, alter self. Free. At will. And so I'm going to be like a floating, shape-shifting nonsense person.
Beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot.
I did something similar to lower level ones, because you can get Disguise Self as a free spell.
All right.
As an invocation spell.
So we have the basic concepts for care gen methods. How would we all feel about point by but I jack the numbers?
Sorry?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah. For care, Pat, for care gen methods, what if it was like 5e point by calculator?
Yeah, point by's fine.
Yeah, but basically, I would jack it from like the default points is 27, but I would allow you guys to have 32.
Ooh, 32.
Point by 32 points. Yeah, to represent you guys are like kind of badass.
Any max ability caps? 20 still, or?
Yeah, it would still have to obey the attribute caps. And there are a few.
You're writing this down somewhere. Oh, there we go. So, okay.
Yeah, it's in the.
Yeah. And I'll move this over to a Roll20 room that is specific to gag, but I might have already made a gag, but I don't know.
I can't remember. I think you did. I think my character.
Right, because we have someone who's joining us. One of Boltrip's friends.
I don't know if I'm gonna message him and see if he's actually gonna join us.
Well, he made a character for it.
Oh, he did.
He made like a yeah.
I thought that I gotta message him. I gotta make sure he was gonna end with is actually my friend.
I mean,
yeah, and
I'm glad it didn't.
Obviously, this finale has been a long time coming, and in future series, I would probably institute like a quorum, where if we have a certain number of people, we sort of go for it, and we just explain it as this character is off doing whatever. And I don't get you killed, but we keep going. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. And so
I think that can work great, because if I'm ever not there, my character can just float off into the sunset, You'd be like, "What's he doing over there? Who the fuck knows?"
Yeah, so
Well,
yeah.
we could just say you're communing with whatever your unworldly patron is.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, we're gonna have to work out some eldritch patrons.
Oh, we are. I'm sure
That's
that's
what
I'll
I'm
be.
I'm sure that's never gonna come home to roost.
I mean, I love having detailed interactions with my
By the
patron
way,
of the world.
Max,
That too.
so you really like playing warlocks, am I correct?
I mean, I played. This would be my third warlock ever. I played one in a relatively short-lived thing, and I liked it, but it didn't last long. I'm playing more right now in a different campaign I'm in, and I really like that. But I'm only level 4 right now, so like I haven't done a bunch of like the crazy shit yet. But they sound very fun. Yes.
Do you think you'd also be? I don't want to warlock you out because I want at least one warlock in Rosenkrieg
Rosenkrieg being
coming after Gag.
coming after Gag. I mean, I'm down to play warlock twice in a row. Do not get me wrong.
Okay, I'll conspire with you more about what I'm thinking there, but
All right.
yeah, Rosenkrieg is gonna be the thing that uses Matt Colville's Warfare rules. It's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm gonna do a lot of groundwork for that. You guys are gonna be hearing a lot more about it in the coming days. But we have 5 to 6 episodes of our new limited series starting next Thursday, Guns Against Gods, or
Guns against Gog.
and Guns Against Gods or GAG. And this is pretty much our builds, and yeah, I could change this over to the other Roll20 with a quick intermission. Let me see how many people are actually still enjoying with us. 6. I mean, I think let me just tap intermissions.
Let's see. The problem is for the audience if they can still hear us. Can they? Who knows? Well, tell them that you're doing this because your desktop background is actually just a front and back picture of your credit card. There is I just saw this thing on the Roll20 page where it's like, Max, you've played over 735 hours in games using Roll20. Have you considered paying for it? And I'm like,
Really? It says that?
I'll fucking send you guys a screen snip.
Hilarious. I have 1537 hours.
Let me see how many hours I've done.
But then I'm pretty sure I've left Roll20 on like overnight a couple of times.
I mean, yeah, this is I've definitely left it on when I haven't been using it.
Oh.
I have a different Roll20 that also starts with GAG.
Does it stand for gay ass
Gold.
goblins?
No.
I like that we come back right on that. So here we are, Guns Against Gods. Not much to watch here. Mute site. You're transmitting to Roll20, by the way, Max.
I know it defaults to that every fucking time, and it annoys me.
Do I? I don't think I have it.
And there we go.
And so I sent in the Facebook chat the gag link, and I'll just take people through the gag handout, as you guys know. Oh wait, I need to make sure you all have characters. Wait, no, I have Austin, Max, Skane, and Taxes. Yeah, so you guys should all be able to do it. And by the way, Pat, did we decide what class we want Taxes to be most like when she's in her on the ground fighting mode?
What is this? Oh,
That it might be interesting for her to like pew 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 with like her arm spikes. I don't know. That could be fun.
Yeah. So basically,
I mean, like,
well, the plan is right for her to like stab stuff, like, and then like inject it with her eggs, right? Oh fuck!
Oh,
Yote.
We're
Can
down
you
to Pat.
see?
Pat, hawk down.
oh, great! Now it's just I'm split between two different frames in the stream. If I sit really tall, I think I can get my whole head in the bottom frame. But the problem is it's on like a several second delay, so I can't really. Like, but then you're just getting a really good shot of my shirt in the other one.
This is just infinite quality.
Or could I slump down a lot? I think that might be more comfortable and get in the lower frame.
Do you see the thing in Roll20? My video. This is actually not a bad camera.
I axed the Roll20s after Max transmitted, but yeah, basically, I will just give a quick read of this document, and I'll put say 32 point. By the way, we should let Skane know and let him up his character in a few ways because I changed that. But yeah,
Is he in the diesel shot? I don't think so. Yes, he is. Just.
Oh, have I not given him the role yet?
Yeah.
I'll handle that afterwards.
Are there roles?
We'll handle it later. Yeah, darling.
I'm the only one.
Basically, the good ship Death and Taxes, privateer in service to the Jolly Roger Company. Jolly Company. The ship's stately form. The ship is roughly 1,000 feet long, a green-black vessel of cultivated fungiars. Any given hallway or hull bulwark looks like a porous green surface shot through with a latticework of black lines. It looks like Pat's rejoining us, but says connecting for a while. Yeah. The doors are thin membranes that retract when a crew member attempts to use them or drops a pitch-black curtain if a hostile is detected. Various fluids necessary to keep the ship moving are green acid, and excessive hull damage will spill it all over. A turn after this happens, if the ship's segment is still covering power, it will deploy obsidian sponges, receiving power, that soak up the acid and grow towards the breach until it's covered like a stony scab. The ship's primary weapons are arc-light cannons, radiant beams, Dwooger steel spitters, dwarvish railguns, and hell spikes, which is literally like Taxis uses her ribs to stab into the ship that you're ramming. The greater daemon that lives in the ship, the good ship down in Taxes, is named Taxes. She's a greater daemon of greed, and she must be fed riches, or she will slurp out of the exoskeleton that is the ship and fly away, leaving the vessel literally spineless. She also tends to use her hell spikes to hoover riches out of pierced ships. Above all, she enjoys wealth and penetration in that order, and will not hesitate to assert herself. Then we have the bridge staff options, and I'm probably going to wind up doing NPC captain, but yeah, so Max, you're going for Animancer, right?
Yeah, it makes most sense.
What would you want to be, Austin? I
feel like there was an actual idea behind this being the Scion. Isn't there like a navigator or something like that? Or am I stupid?
There's a Scry Master. I don't know if Skane wanted to go for Scry Master or something else.
It's level 15 where I can cast Alter Self at will. Shame.
Man, yeah, I don't know what, because the monks do the drive.
Yeah, we don't have to have all of these. Like most of them will be NPCs. Yeah, I do message Skane about that. I just don't know if they went for Scry Master. Otherwise, Scry Master would work very naturally for a Scion.
Okay, here's the thing I've always wondered. There's one invocation, Ascendant Step, which gives you, at level 9, you can cast Levitate on yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components, right? Simple. Makes it so you can fucking fly. All you goddamn want to. Amazing. Then at the same thing, level 9, Otherworldly Leap, you can cast Jump on yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components. Why the hell would you want Jump when you can have Levitate?
I think Jump takes you there fast, and Levitate just makes you not be on the ground.
Jump moves you faster, that is true. But it's a jump. Levitate moves you faster than most people's movement speed anyway, and is full flight if you have control over your own levitation, which the invocation gives you.
What's the mechanical difference between fly and levitate?
Nothing.
Is Jump like a teleport?
Jump is like you literally just jump really far.
You just Samurai Jack your way over there.
I mean, I'll pull up literally the descriptions of the two spells so I can clarify this.
Yeah. Because the one thing that I can think of is maybe you could bypass area of effect stuff, but just exist a bit easier with jump, maybe.
No, because I mean, jump isn't gonna get you anywhere you can't get. Okay, so jump. The creature's jump distance is tripled until the spell ends.
Tripled. I don't know.
You triple your jump distance, which I mean, not useless, but
It'd be useful if, like, say you can't cross a gap and you use
Okay.
it on somebody else.
well, the thing is that for
Then you
both
have
of these, it
levitate.
specifies you can only cast it on yourself.
Oh.
Levitate, concentration up to 10 minutes, but you can just keep recasting it, so whatever.
Yeah.
The spell can levitate. You can move 20 feet
Yeah.
per round.
Does it say anything about, like...
A target can only move by pushing against fixed objects of the surface, unless if you are the target, you can move up and down as part of your move. Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target. So essentially, you can use your move action to move yourself around.
Okay, so
You
it's
move a
not
bit
like...
slower than you normally would, but you are flying.
Yeah. See, what I was
I'll
gonna
be
say
right
is,
back.
like, you know, if there's like a gap, and then you just kind of like, it's not like hovering. It's just, you know, you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess jump's nice if you want to jump a gap, but why don't you just float over the gap? I'm just saying, I see very little reason to get the
Jump seems useless compared to levitate.
exactly,
like
considering you can get them for the same cost at the same level.
Yeah.
I mean, if jump was at a lower level, I could get that because I mean, it's fucking jump. I feel like it shouldn't be a 9th level invocation.
No, that sounds useless for 9th level.
Exactly.
You would think something 9th level would be a lot more, like, teleporting, like Omayawabu Shinderu.
I mean, there's a few that are obviously like here's a lesser version for it at lower levels, and you'll upgrade to this better version at higher levels. Like you can disguise self, you can do from the beginning, and then alter self, you can do at level 15.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what jump and levitate should have been like.
Yeah.
Jump should have been like level 4 or something, and levitate should have been level 9.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But who knows?
What else to get though?
Wizard of the Coast aren't
What's Arcane Eye
that
do?
good.
Oh. Useless. Thought that would be cooler. I mean, I have a lot of. I get 6 invocations at this level, so I mean, I have a lot of options. I'm almost agonizing blast, of course, because you're an idiot if you don't get that one.
Yeah, because that's
Ascended
just...
step, so I can be a fly boy.
Agonizing Blast is just the upgraded version of Eldritch Blast, right?
I mean, it adds your spellcasting,
Yeah.
your charisma modifier to the damage.
Yeah.
Which
if you don't take that, then you're basically useless because that Eldritch Blast is the class.
and Eldritch Blast is such because at level 5, I don't even want to know what at level 14 it does, but at level 5, I think at level 14 I probably have like 3 bolts per cast, each one doing 1d10 plus
Charisma modifier.
charisma modifier. Which, let's be honest, I'm gonna put a full 20 in charisma.
Oh yeah, you definitely are.
So plus 5.
I don't know if I'm wisdom or charisma based. I'm probably gonna be a wisdom based caster. As a scion.
Makes sense. Eldritch Blast. Yeah, at 11th level, I get 3 beams.
Powers of the Moon.
So that's 1d10 plus 5
So
times 3.
I'm a fucking mad class. I have wisdom. So the strength threshold is my level plus wisdom plus. I'm just gonna copy paste this into the Roll20. Basically. So I can probably just dump charisma and just put it in con instead because it seems to be con or charisma.
Maybe it's con divided by charisma.
Well, then when you just dump charisma, you
That's a
know,
good point. No, you would dump. Yeah.
yeah, you would dump charisma because then you just have like a +1 in it, and you just have like a +4 in con,
And then
just
it's a
full
4. Yeah. It's a good
And if you have
point.
a 0, then it's just fucking nothing, and then if you have negative, it's imaginary.
Yeah. It's probably an aura then, but
Yeah. And then
probably-
everything else is wisdom based. So
depending on the ranges at which these ship combats take place, an Eldritch Spear also might be nice because it gives me 300-foot range on Eldritch Blast, so I could actually like
you
do
might
ship-to-ship combat with it a bit.
you might need that. 'Cause-
It doesn't come up terribly often in other campaigns I've played. Because I mean, the normal range on it's already like pretty damn long.
How far is it? Like 150, 100?
Normal range is 120.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, it's not exactly like, oh, here's a little short range spell that we're gonna upgrade the range on. It's like long range to like sniper range.
See, though, I don't. Here, I'm gonna link this. The one thing is, well, obviously the class isn't finished yet.
This
But-
actually might be super useful. Oh wait,
There-
no. Taxes wouldn't count as a humanoid.
I don't think so. She's like some. Well, maybe in her like combat, like on ground, she would count as a humanoid.
Well, I mean, if she counted as, because there's an invocation called Gaze of Two Minds, where you can use your action to touch a willing humanoid and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn. Blah 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 blah, a bunch of other stuff.
That would
Point
probably
is,
be a leave thing.
yeah, I mean,
Might leave it.
Lee might do a hand wave on that because I think it'd be super useful as essentially a ship's engineer to be able to like
Feel the
perceive
ship.
through the ship, feel the ship. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For similar reasons, I'm also probably gonna get
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to have him walk me through the Scion class, because if you click on that link, there is some funky shit here, man, in the forms and whatnot.
Also, I think I'm gonna go for the one that lets me cast Magic Sense, detect magic at will, without using a spell slot. Because I feel like that comes in handy.
Oh, shit.
Lee, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does
So-
the demon compromising the backbone of our ship count as a humanoid?
Her like body that she uses to accompany you does. Yeah. Why?
I ask because there's a invocation called Gaze of Two Minds, where I can use my action to touch a willing humanoid and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn. And as a ship's engineer, that'd be a super useful diagnostic tool.
Yeah.
If you
no.
could literally perceive through the ship and see, like, hey, ship, what do you feel wrong? Like, oh,
As long as she lets you touch her.
but it would only matter. But the question is, would it work on her in ship form?
I think it would let you sense everything she can sense, and I think that her ship form is also sensed by her.
All right.
Around and stab things for him.
That I might go for that one then, because I mean, I get 6 invocations, and that's pretty much too many. There's barely even 6 invocations I want. So I'm just gonna fly around. Being a silly boy. Cast
Indeed.
my Eldritch Blast.
Well, it does.
Amazing.
It does not look like Pat is going to be able to rejoin us.
That's fair.
But you have been able to get like some stuff done, right?
Yes, I mean, I've made base decisions, and that's 90% of the work for me.
Yeah, because I mean, you know your build or whatever you're gonna.
I know how to build stuff, and a Warlock build, put everything in Charisma and let the rest of it work itself out.
Yeah, and Boltrup.
Yeah.
Which subclass were you choosing again?
I haven't decided yet. I'm looking at them, but I think maybe empath would be fun. Just from I got big. Just from looking at it. Although I don't. Oh God. Warlock party to a pact as the empath thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! If I link with you, you get to use my wisdom and int or charisma saving throws instead. But if you use it, I will fail immediately.
One thing I'll ask before I probably retire for tonight, because I am feeling somewhat tired.
Yeah.
For my patron, do you have any thoughts?
I think if you did like the Great Old One or whatever the fuck the option is, it's Eldritch.
I mean, Great Old One's always been my favorite, especially because they get Awakened Mind, which means I can effectively talk to everyone, and then I get the invocation that allows me to read any language, and then bam, languages don't matter anymore.
Yeah, I think that would be very.
That's
thematic.
my default build for a Warlock, actually.
I think that would result in some very interesting situations. But we're gonna sign off here. Thank you all for joining us. And Max, just stay away like 10 seconds longer because I have something to ask you about.
All right.
All right.
Good night, audience. Those that may still be listening.
Yeah, we still have 5 viewers, but farewell.